Hey Pat, how are you? Hi Sakura girl, how are you? Feeling any better? Hi Laura. Hi L Jackson. Hi Ann. Hi KS Sunflower. Hi Delia. Hi Purple Butterfly. Hi Anna. Hi Tori. Hi Alicia. Oh shoot, you guys. You know what I did? I left my glasses upstairs. Okay? So you're going to have to entertain yourselves for a minute. I have to run and get them because if I have to read something and I have to go get them. I'll be right back. Somebody hold down the fort here. I'll be right back. I'm back. Oh boy, okay. That was good that I realized then. All right. So, got the glasses. Let's see who came in. Laura, L. Jackson, Ann, KS Sunflower, Delia, Purple Butterfly. I've got Anna. Hi. Tori, Alicia, Whisper to Me. Hello, Megan. Mary Kim, Sandy. What Big Eyes, Stephanie, Laughing Lori, Christo. Wow Life. You had a pretty good day? Good. CYNT. What else did I miss here? Random Guy Jeff. Oh, our special with Random Guy Jeff will be this Friday. Okay, the one about the adoption story. Now I feel like I have an eyelash in my eye. Okay, it'll be Friday. More will be coming on that. Nurse Nana Patty. Mandy, Joe Cano, Sharon, Stephanie, you have not been on in a while. Hello. Okay, wait a second. Now I just jumped. Evie, RC Breeze, Sea Glass, Miss Mary did get Kaza, Seventh Angel. Is that your first time? Vegas Donna, how you doing? Mary Beth, hi. Dee Lee, is this your first time? Scarlet Rain. Linda, how are you doing? Hennessy, how are you doing? Melinda. Hi, Brandy. Tamlin. Florence. Jen Nicholson, is this your first time? Linda B. Sam, how you doing? Hi, Willa Wick. Hi, Lamb Chops. You're glad you're not the only insomniac? No, you're definitely not alone, Brandy. Okay, so. Okay, the name's not familiar to me, and I usually say hello to everyone. Hi, Kayla. Hi, Teacup. How are you doing? Hi, Tracy. Okay, so there's a couple of things to discuss tonight, but the thing that I'm finding really funny is that there's a call out, a public service announcement on Reddit for people to return their books that bought them at Amazon. Hi, Kathy. Hi, The Glamorous Life. Hi, Feeding It. We are live. The Wolf, yeah. Thanks, Kayla. Hi, Mommy for the Win. Hi, Alma. So, yeah, I'll read it to you. Yeah, I did. It was just posted minutes before I was going live. That was hysterical. Hi, Abby. Hey, Danielle. You heard there were problems from the publisher? Oh yeah, that's old news. There were problems, but there's more problems with what's in the book and all this other crap. But people ordered on Amazon, so I don't know what the publisher's return policy was. But remember when she told people to order on Amazon and cancel the orders with the publisher? Okay, so let's look at what they just put up there. So it said, PSA, was the headline, return your book, exclamation point. Seriously, guys. Just giving a PSA that Amazon has an excellent return policy. Choose the reason, quality or performance not adequate, and return shipping is free. If these texts are legit, and I don't know what they're, not sure, do we think they are? I sort of do. Cadel, I guess he's talking about the ones between her and Jamie. Cadel doesn't deserve to make another $1, and honestly, even if they're not, I usually prefer my books to not be riddled with errors and typos. So that, let me see if there's any comments on it. No comments yet. And it was posted 33 minutes ago, so it'll be interesting to see if people start returning books. Now, is that true? I wonder what the return policy is on a book with Amazon. Does anybody know? Has anyone ever returned a book with Amazon? I know they have a great return policy, but what is it with books? Does anyone know? Nisi has a point. Let me see. I'm returning mine from Barnes & Noble. It is not true crime. It's all lies. And did you return it yet, Nisi? Spelling mistakes is a good reason to return it. Hey, Bethany, how are you doing? Hi, Mystery Truth Seeker. Hey, Deborah. Hi, Jessica. So let's see. Does anybody know the most places can't what, Florence? Return it? Most places can't what? Let's ask Google. Let's see what you're returning yours to the bookstore directly tomorrow to avoid the shipping cost back. Let me know how you make out with that, okay? Please let me know how you make out with that. Oh, take the books back? I don't think it has anything to do with copyright. It's sort of a blanket policy of everything with Amazon can be returned. Okay. I wonder what Kohl's does? Well, if it's Kohl's, Stephanie, I used to know a lady that worked at Kohl's, and the stuff, I told you guys, right? She told me there was one guy that would buy his whole wardrobe for the winter and return it, because I think they get a year or something. Like, it was something crazy. He would return it like 2 days before a year. Everything he bought, all worn out, and then he would buy an entirely new wardrobe. And he kept doing the same thing over and over. I really want to get her on here one night because she told me things that went on in Kohl's that you could not believe. She would tell us this when we had those morning calls I've told you about. Yeah, it was crazy. She told me you can use expired Kohl's cash, all this stuff. It was nuts. Macy's is like that too? Yeah, I know. He returned shoes that he worn out. I would be so embarrassed, even if they took it back. Oh my gosh. Kohl's should change, but Walmart is pretty gross too with what? With the return. How can a return policy be gross? They're not going to sell it again. They throw the stuff away. They're not going to put that stuff out on the shelf again. No, he wore it out. Everything was worn out. There's nothing they could put back. They had to throw it all away. They stopped that a few years back. And you couldn't get into Kohl's to save your life. I had a friend at Sears. People would bring in a lawnmower in June and bring it back in October. Snowblower. I'm telling you, we're missing out on a lot of the hacks there. They have to damage it out. That's what I mean, delete. It's not going back on the shelf. He must, I know, sometimes I don't return things I should. Sometimes I get sour freaking milk, okay? Sour freaking half and half. This happened to me twice in 2 weeks and I don't even get there to return it. Some people know the system, right, Bethany? They do. That's why Sears went out of business. Sears isn't, they're not out of business completely. They're not. They still have their appliance line and Craftsman and stuff like that. They're not out of business totally. They closed the majority of the stores. It's embarrassing, right? I was embarrassed to bring back, like I thought I was going to Walmart the other night and like I had this happen. I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it now. It's such a hassle. I've got to tell them. I bought the milk and I opened, put in my coffee. It was curdled. I just bought it. The date is December 20th. What's going on? And your niece is sore, right? Yeah. If the author woman has already booked and paid for her cruises. So I wonder what's going to happen because now, okay, I don't know. Does anybody know what Dorrance is? Let's look at the Dorrance publishing return policy. Let's look that up. Dorrance publishing return policy. Because if Dorrance doesn't take books back and Amazon does and they messed up, she could possibly say she's, I don't know, going to sue. I don't know. I don't know what her contract says unless they have a clause that, who knows, right? I don't know. I'm trying to see if you buy from them. We need the sales page. Now I'm on the, let me see. I'm just going to type in, can you return books you bought from Dorrance Publishing? Okay, let's see. It says book publishing, book promotion. We don't care about that. Is Dorrance Publishing a scam? I must read. Okay, the review, complaints. Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at their complaints, shall we? Here, I'll put this over here so you can read along. Okay, I'm an author under contract with Dorrance. They will not pay me my royalty checks that are due for my book. I spent $6,700 for them to collect my sales and publish and promote my book. That's probably about what she paid then. Dorrance has breached a 120-day book release contract. Services began in July of 2018 and repeated negligence in answering their phones, returning corrected email responses, and evading release dates. I requested my $1,200 payment to be returned, and it was ignored twice. Okay, doesn't sound like she's going to have a good, easy time with them. I contacted the president and was ignored. I've done business with Dorrance since 2013, having published 2 previous books and communicating with the same personnel. Never have I experienced such passive, neglectful behavior. Okay, let's go here. This is their company response. Ms. blah, 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 signed the contract with us for the publication of her current book in September 2018, not July. The original due date was November 2018. However, in order to accommodate the expedited schedule, the contract was very strict and specific about the level of revisions that we would allow. Maybe that's why her book was not corrected, because she pushed it ahead of time. Remember, she said it was supposed to be Thanksgiving? That's probably why her book was not corrected, because she didn't want to pay for more revisions, and the contract was very strict. So maybe they had, if it had to be done in a rush, there was a fee. I don't know. While we are happy to continue to work with the author until she is fully satisfied with both the cover proofs and the interior page proofs, her request for additional revisions has added to the production schedule. We will certainly proceed with printing of the book once Mrs. Blah 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 approves all materials for printing. No refund is due, as we are acting in accordance with the contract and working toward the publication of Ms. Blah Blah Blah's book. And then this one had a response too. We have responded to Mr. Blah 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 about his earnings multiple times over the past few weeks. We've explained to him that while $44 is due to him, we cannot issue the payment until he completes the necessary tax paperwork. A refund of his contract amount is not appropriate, as we have published his book and are otherwise fulfilling the terms of the contract. So this guy paid $6,700 and all he made was $44 on his books. That's good. That's either a crappy book or there's something really wrong there. Okay. Is this another one? I have reviewed the response made by and have determined that this does not resolve my complaint. For your reference, details of the offer I received appear below. Dorrance's mistakes violated the contract. I repeatedly asked for my manuscript and money to be returned. Phone calls to Dorrance were repeatedly ignored. Dorrance has managed to drag the release of my book, causing defamation to my name and loss of employment. Loss of employment? Okay. Dorrance continued to ignore my request to move ahead with printing in spite of repeatedly sending materials that were in error. When asked for extra books in lieu of contract violation, no response was given. The president of this organization was notified about the negligence of this horrible situation and no response from him. And then Dorrance responds again and says, we received Ms. Blah Blah Blah's final approval of all materials in late February 2019, and the printing process was completed in March 2019. The book has been published and available for sale since that time. I'm going to think it's safe to say that Dorrance will not take returns. So had the people bought the books from Dorrance, they would not have returned them. Taken the returns. People could have sent them in. They would not have issued the money back, but I don't even know how much money she would have made if this person paid $6,700 and was due a check of $44. I don't even know how they're figuring that out. Oh no, Danielle. So you still all have the flu still? Yikes. I paid this company, here's another one, almost $2,000, right, to post my book to online book distributors. People have been telling me that they are buying my book, but the company is not sending me my payments on the book. They were supposed to release payments to me twice a year, January 31st and July 31st. They will not tell me what is happening with my sales or anything. They are ignoring my phone calls and emails. They have taken my money and have not fulfilled the contract. This is not looking good for Ms. Cadle. And then Dorrance's reply is, as Mr. Blah 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 states, our earnings statements are issued. Oh, so she's only going to get paid in January and in July. Our earnings statements are issued each January 31st and July 31st. As he filed the complaint on January 30th, the statement had of course not been issued. Since then, he has been sent his earnings statement. If he has any questions about the statement, he is welcome to follow up with us. Okay, now the customer responds. I have reviewed the response made by the business in reference to my complaint, and I have determined that this does not resolve my complaint. For your reference, details of this offer I received appear below. Today is February 6, 2019, and I have not received a statement in the mail or any electronic payment received to my bank account. I called blah, 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 who is supposed to refer to who I'm supposed to refer to for any issues, and he ignored my phone message. Okay, and Dorrance follows up with, statements were in the mail at the end of last week. With the weekend in between, it may not have reached you, but we will put another copy in the mail just in case. I will also have blah, blah, blah reach out to you about the financial details. And then the customer, he's just replying this. Oh, no. I have reviewed the response made by the business and find that this resolution is satisfactory to me. I will await the call from Mr. blah, blah, blah. If I do not receive a call, I will file another complaint here. Okay, and this one says it's not resolved. What's the question mark? I signed a contract. Look at that. Say $8,100. I wonder what she paid to them. In full for Dorrance to paint and publish my children's book. All pictures were provided unpainted with the exact shape and design I wanted. They just needed to shade and paint them. Put them in the page. However, they required it for print. My contract was for 170 days to complete. That was over 2 years ago. Wow, this one paid for 2 separate books, $9,200. And then it had monthly installments. Okay. Load more. So this company, I would say that the people they couldn't even cancel their orders. Isn't that correct, that they could not cancel their orders? They had to, what the heck? What did they have to do? They had to file a chargeback or something? What happened? What's going on? Did you hear that Kathleen, who is Chris's friend? Yes, I did hear that. That's the one, isn't that? That's the one with Cindy, Bethany. She's writing the book with Cindy. Any info about the missing chapter? No. You did finally get your refund with Dorrance. You had to wait about 3 weeks. Hey, do you know if you got the book from Dorrance, Nisi, did you get any invoice or anything that says about returns on it? Do you have anything that says that? They're talking about Teacup. I think they're talking about the one Kathleen was writing with Cindy, the one that Cindy's notes apparently came out and Kathleen had that forward in that book. I don't know if they're going to publish it still. I don't know, but I heard that if it is, I think it's not due out till the summer. No invoice. Oh, no invoice, what, for the book, Stephanie? Cato said she paid $4,000. Did she, too, Scooter? She let that fly? Hi, Kathy. You got an invoice, but no, so it doesn't even say anything on the bottom, Nisi, about returns or anything? She put no pictures in the book of anyone in the book. There are no pictures at all in that book. That's weird, you know? That's very weird. Oh, not too much, Jeannie. That's weird, not to have pictures in it. Why not? Probably cost more, right? It probably did. It probably costed more, and she didn't want to pay any more. What? This isn't which book? Somebody said Kathleen, though. So you see another book, Teacup? When's it coming out? I've never heard of him. She puts the to scare us. That's so crazy because I don't know. Hi, Brenda. It's on Amazon. Okay, it's well, who is the author? Let me see. What's the author's name? You say? I've never heard of him. Let me see. Which John Glatt? I wonder if you think he's a fly-by-night that's just, or is he a real author and true crime writer? I don't know. Let me see. Let's just look up his name first. John Glatt. Okay. I see there is an author, John Glatt, at Macmillan. English-born John Glatt, the author of Lost and Found, Secrets in the Cellar, Playing with Fire, and many other best-selling books of true crime. So it may be a legit book for once. Let's see. So let's go over here. I'll let you read this too. Okay, he has more than 30 years of experience as an investigative journalist. Okay, so you've got legit here. In England and America, Glatt left school at 16 and worked a variety of jobs, including tea-boy and messenger, before joining a small weekly newspaper. He freelanced at several English newspapers. And then in 1981, he moved to New York, where he joined the staff for News Limited and freelanced for publications including Newsweek and the New York Post. His first book, a biography of Bill Graham, was published in 1981, and he published For I Have Sinned, his first book of true crime, in 1998. He has appeared television. Macmillan should have a better edit. Don't you think the publishing company like Macmillan should have somebody edit that? Oh, no, that is right. Okay, hold on. He has appeared. No, it's not right. He has appeared. There's no on television. He has appeared television and radio programs all over the world, including Dateline, NBC, Fox News, Current Affair. I don't understand why no one. BBC World and A&E Biography. He and his wife, Gail, divide their time between New York City, the Catskill Mountains, and London. Wow, this guy probably lives near me. There was one lady that I wanted to see that lived near me. Look at this. I can tell who that is. Look, here's one. Look, is he writing this one too? He's writing about the Turpins. That's Mr. Turpin right there. The family next door. At least this is a legit author. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you've got at least a legit author. Maybe she got wind of this, and that's what she was trying to come out ahead of time. When is the book due out, Teacup? Do you know when it's coming out? You have seen him many times on TV. When is he coming out with his book? Do you know the title of it, Teacup? Yeah, I know she's fishing for some notes she left out because she's such a great author that she forgot some chapters in the book only after everybody said that things were missing. Hey, Sassy Darcy. She rushed her book, yeah, because they said Thanksgiving. Maybe she got wind this guy was putting out a book and he's a legit author and true crime writer, and she freaked her head off. I'd like to see if I can contact this guy if he lives near. I want to see where he lives. He might live near me. There's another person that lives somewhat near me, who interviewed about. It was about Chris Watts early on, but not really about Chris Watts, and more like why do so many women gravitate towards true crime, and especially the women that are the fangirl kinds. And I know she lives up near me, and she, talked to and I said, I got to contact her, and then I never did, but maybe I will. So, did Teacup answer when it's supposed to come out? What is Vegas Donna? What are you buying, Vegas Donna? What does she want? Because I found out, that Cricut machine that I told you, if you have it on sale like that in your Walmart, you should pick it up for $139. Oh, I think it is, Tori. Did Teacup answer? July 21st, 2020? Wait, no. Really? His book is coming out July 21st? Because somebody said that Cindy's was. Yeah, it's only $139. It's on clearance in some Walmarts, not all. Like, it's not in my regular Walmart on clearance, but the one I saw yesterday, it was on clearance. They're $139. They had 2 of them. And then I went online, and other people said yes. In some Walmarts, it has been placed on clearance for $139, and it's normally $222. So, and that's the one below the maker, but it still can cut fabric and stuff. The maker just has a little more pressure and can do a little thicker things like the balsa wood. But if you're looking to do most of the things, that machine will work for you well. Tell me what Vegas Donna is looking for. What are you looking for, Vegas Donna? And they're already taking. Okay, so she shouldn't have rushed it through then, because he wouldn't have had it out by Thanksgiving. But who knows? She's going to tell more after Dr. Oz. I have the maker, but is that what you're looking for? I have the maker. Is that what you're looking for, Vegas, Donna? Because I missed it. Because if you are, check your Walmart. The one that is right below the maker was $139. And it will do most of the stuff, the same stuff. You are looking for that. Okay. I mean, really, $139. It's not in every Walmart, but you could check. It wasn't in my regular Walmart, but when I was coming home from the sheep and wool, I went into another one. And it was there. $139, and you can't beat that. And you can go online. If you go online and you say, you put Cricut Walmart clearance, you'll see those coupon bloggers that they say the same thing. They'll show it on the shelf, $139, and they're finding it in Walmarts. And there was 2 in the Walmart I went to on the shelf. And if you don't find it in the craft section, they said look in the party supply section. They have them in the party supply section then. Yes, for a Cricut, Janelle. On clearance at Walmart, but they're only in some Walmarts. And it's the one, I have the picture of it here. Hold on. I took a picture of it on the shelf. Hang on. I'll tell you what the name is. Okay. It's they've got 2. Let me see. Yeah. The Explore Air 2, 2 times, let me see, 2 times what is it? Faster cutting and writing, up to 2 times faster. And they have it in this, what color is this? Looks like a darkish green. And then I think that one on the bottom was, I don't know if that's black or that's the picture. Denim, is that denim? But yeah, it's on the ticket. Ouch. It says, yeah, it's regularly like $227 there, $139. So check it out. But your maker, no, the maker is different than that, Janelle. The maker is the step above that. It has more pressure and it cuts some thicker things like balsa wood. Yes, and it was 369, something like that. 369, I think. 340, something like that. But I think on QVC it was like, what was it, 369? But they had Easy Pay, Flex Pay, or whatever the heck they call it. Oh, so this true crime writer is coming out with a book, The Perfect Father, and now I understand why Kittle was rushing. Is that what he's naming it, The Perfect Father? Hi, Narc Shock. Oh, I can't say your. I have. It's a tongue twister. Narc Shock. Nobody's Hero. Is another one. Perfect Monster. Your kitten is home. Good, choking on ashes. So, okay. The other thing is, there was something very interesting in Catel's book. Well, it was just that I want to just say one thing about it. Let me get back to the thing. So it says, she's describing his life, his upbringing, his birth. 10 pounds he was. Family didn't have any maternity insurance. Took them 18 months to pay off his birth. Boy, he was worth it, right? Okay. And then she says that he was let me see what she says here. Okay, he liked to spend time with his grandmother. Right, we know that. He said that to Tammy. He was her favorite, right? We know she didn't like Jamie too much because he didn't stand in the car for 30 minutes. And she didn't like Cindy too much either because they didn't get along. Well, maybe she loved her, but they didn't get along, whatever. As her mother, I would hope that she loved her even if they didn't get along because that would be really disgusting. But anyway, and they didn't get along even though they lived down on the same street because she tried to control Cindy. So the apple not falling far from the tree would make sense that if maybe Cindy had a mother and that was her model and her mother tried to control her, that maybe she would try to do the same thing to her children. Something, right? And apparently that Cindy's mother tried to tell Cindy how to raise her children. And the grandmother was really negative. But thankfully, that didn't rub off on Chrissy. No. And let me see what happened. Oh, about his religion. That he went to the Baptist church, right? But then it says, how religious could he have been? Because he seems to want to blame Shanann for him not, doing anything about his religion, okay? He's a big boy. He said, he had this fundamentalist religion, and he says that the religious teachings that he went through, it scared the life out of him, okay? Because if he sinned, he thought, he would go to hell. He didn't know anything about forgiveness or anything like that. If he died while he was sinning, that was it. And it said he could not drink. He couldn't go to dances. He couldn't have sex before marriage. What else? And then he was so afraid of God, so he put him in a box. So afraid of God, so he put him in a box. Wouldn't God if you're so afraid of God and you put him in a box, you think he's going to stay there in that box? And if you believe this way, then isn't he going to get really, really angry? If you're believing this way, that he has no forgiveness, okay. And he was so almost OCD about not wanting to displease or make God angry because of going to hell, right? He knew that he could not sin. He had to obey all the rules, right? And this is when they say Cindy would hear Chris in the bathroom repenting over and over and over again in an OCD format for sins. But she never knew what they were. No. And then, after she talks about that, she goes from that to Chris and Shanann did not follow a religion. Like, nothing with the in-between of, well, what happened, Chris? Did you slowly go out of that religion? Did you practice it right up until you got married? When did you stop with thinking that if you sinned, you're going to go to hell? Because apparently, one of the biggest sins is killing people. And so when did that stop? Because you just killed your family, and you probably think that's a pretty big sin, probably worse than dancing, right? But she doesn't talk about any of that. Nothing, not at all. Nothing, not one thing. And she just says that he then feels bad. He feels bad that he never talked to Shanann about where things with her beliefs, stood and how she felt about God. That's it. That's the end of the religion. Nothing else there. Anybody find that crazy? It's very crazy. That's what it's like. It's like she's just reading because like everybody knows that studied this case, and I won't go on. Somebody told me somebody tonight was opening up the discovery for the first time. And they didn't even understand the discovery. And they were mocking things that were in the discovery and why they were put in the discovery. And it was silly. It was silly that these things were put in the discovery because they didn't seem pertinent at all. So why put them in the discovery? I guess they don't understand that everything those investigators did and what they covered and whoever they interviewed and whatever calls they got and logged in had to go into the discovery. But it's people like that scare the life out of me, okay? And they're like, I just want to find something juicy. I just want to find something juicy in here. It's crazy. Yeah, and they're 10 people that are watching are like, yeah, why did they put that in there? That didn't need to be in there. You shouldn't have put those interviews in there. It's like, this is scary stuff. The stupid is spreading. You're right, Evie. It's crazy. Okay. So that's what it sounds like this woman, right? Well, let's see. I know his parents were Baptist. I heard that somewhere along the line. And I know that, that he just discovered his religion again. So that must have mean he must have done something and not been following religion. Well, how can I spin that in here? What happened? Okay, let's make sure we've got the right Mommy for the Win and we didn't delete the real one. Mommy for the Win, the real one, are you still here? Well, is the real Mommy for the Win still here, or do we have the faker? You're the real Mommy for the Win? Okay. Yeah, they're doing that, and it's crazy, right? Okay. But wait, I'm confused Jessica, I don't know if we got the right one, because the comments you deleted look like they came from the real mommy, because they said with my name. I think the one that says Cindy Watts, I believe, is the faker. But are we sure we got the right faker out? Mommy for the win, you're the real mommy? Okay. She got the right one. Okay, good. I just want to make sure, because sometimes it's hard to see when they do the same freaking thing. All right. I was confused because I think, I don't know, some of Mommy's real comments were, okay, I'm not going to worry about it. I think we have the real one. I don't understand it either. Like, you can't do that on other places that put the same name. Wait, are we sure? I think so. I mean, yes, I'm here. Okay, so yes, it would look like that. I need to put a pic back up. Yeah, maybe something so that we know, so they can't just get a freaking color, but that they weren't religious, period. Okay. All right, get rid of Stacy. We don't need any of that. Stacy, take your hate somewhere else. Okay, Mommy for the win. I got you. Yeah, they're just trolls. They're hateful, hateful trolls. They're probably coming from the hateful channel that I just said didn't know anything about the discovery. I guarantee you that's what it was. Misery certainly loves company. Okay. So where were we? So let me see. There was there anything else in that? And everything, I mean, I just, she goes on, to talk about how Cindy kept asking herself why she didn't see any of this coming, right? And then said that Cindy blamed herself because her and Shanann didn't get along. Well, that's not according to Cindy. Cindy's new book doesn't say Cindy blamed herself at all. She blamed Shanann 100%. And in the book, she claims that Chris told the mother that on August 5th, before he left, that he was separating. But she told him, I hope you're not seeing anyone outside your marriage. And said he was deceptive. But that's not unusual for an affair. So he even gets a pass on that because it's not unusual during an affair. But all of his, yeah, okay. And then there's excuses for Christopher, okay? His mind, it might have been blocked. It blocked out everything that happened that morning, because of trauma that he inflicted, okay? She does agree that he brought it on himself, the author, not Mama. Just how he was drawn to Nikki because she cared about what he thought and would ask his opinion. That's all from, that's what I'm saying. Oh my gosh. Talks about the picture that he couldn't hang on the wall. That's all in the discovery, dear. How we practically lived there during July. Yeah, stuff we all know. Talk her down off the ledge. She even puts that from the interview. Something that Shanann had only just thought about and was willing to fix, she says, was the reason her and her in-laws didn't get along. All of this is just garbage. Oh, the money. She controlled everything, meaning Shanann. It was a real pressure point for darling Christopher because he was working all the time. They live very beyond their means. And she says way beyond their needs. Talks about the bankruptcy. All of this is girls going to an expensive school. Money could have been managed better. Yeah, Christopher. And Chris apparently realizes that he could have taken charge, but realized that the way things were the way that worked best for their family. But then says that Chris thought Shanann wanted a husband to take charge, but he just didn't have the confidence to do it. And he always does as he was told. Okay, tell us something else we don't know. He also couldn't tell people that worked under him what to do. And a lot of people turn to alcohol with that. Because he felt so emasculated. And how could anybody know he was just simmering? Because he's so quiet, so sweet, so nice. And he says he just didn't realize that he needed to speak up or something if he did, if it bothered him so much. And then she talks about again, the thing that Chris said, this is nothing that, I haven't seen anything here so far that she would have gotten just from him. That's why I don't trust this. I'm sorry, I don't trust her. She's going to talk about the time when he said, when Shanann found girls' names on his phone, and he said he stood up to her in North Carolina, remember, at her house, and she slammed the door or something, and she said, don't do that again. And he was like all flippant at that time. It was during the next confession. He goes, what? I can't talk to girls? And yeah, I don't even believe little Chris did that. But yeah, he was acting like he was all big guy. Can't talk to girls. Yeah, sure. Okay. Oh, and how uh, Chris suspected Nikki was bipolar. Everybody has labels but him. Everybody. And in his family, right? They're the ones that, they're normal. They are normal. And then she said that Nikki had said, got very upset when she found out about the baby. Said, "What the F are you doing with me? And your relationship couldn't have been that bad if you were trying to conceive." And that's when she flipped out and left his house. Sat in the truck texting him. But he won her back. He won her back, whatever, with his text. He was probably, typing in on the computer something like, what do you say to somebody? And it turned him on, that, because she allowed him to calm her down. Again, she says about that thing we heard about fixing the relationship when he was in North Carolina. Claims that, yes, that he told her that, yeah, she was texting that through. And claims that the oxycodone when he gave her that she thought she was taking an over-the-counter pain reliever for her headache. And that was the time she was vomiting most of the night. That Frankie Jr. tells us about. And the reason he didn't get up and help her, because he wanted her to lose the baby. She apparently didn't remember about the touch-up paint of the Toyota and claims that time he was going there was for a key exchange. She should have read the discovery a little closer. Said that he promised her the relationship was going to end. Talks about the book from Amazon, ironically, that Chris threw in the garbage. We all know that. Okay, he admits he was aloof and unfriendly on the Myrtle Beach. Oh, and listen to this. That's when the spirits came and noticed that. Yep. On the beach. Yep. He didn't really want to do anything with his kids, and it's the first time he ever felt like that. Again, that's something that Frank Rusak said. And then she says, She's so wrong with, okay, her dates here. She doesn't even know her dates. She doesn't know anything. She's claiming that he knew the baby was a boy when Shanann was having the ultrasound, that they learned then. They did not. This woman is... And then she says, after she's saying that they're in there and they're seeing their son, the son they always wanted, but he was indifferent and didn't care, then she says that the thing about the envelope. This is scary. And then talks about finding it out later. The plan he had was lurking over the home. And a lot has been posted on YouTube about spirits and sightings. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. And so if those things that we saw where they thought they're spirits with, I guess, those spirit box people or whatever, if they're still in an empty house, how much stronger would they have been during this time? And the people that are buying that house, they better have it blessed. It's crazy. But anyway, this is just... And yeah, she doesn't put any of the actual letters in there. She types a couple of letters out, but they're typed in whatever, just in the book. They're not, you don't see an actual letter at all. And then right from the discovery, she takes the text from Shanann and to her friends. Word for, just puts them in there, pages of those texts. Pages of them. So that's not even writing a book. Literally just chapters of those texts. And apologizes in his first confession. She apologizes that his first confession has typos and grammatical errors, but that she's posting it word for word. Because she just posted right from the discovery. Crazy. So, hold on a minute. Somebody's asking me something. So, but anyway, I wanted to go to, let me see if anybody's responded to the returning of the books. 2 comments. Now we have 2 comments. Has anyone successfully returned the book to Amazon? Someone says, mine still hasn't arrived, which is another aggravation actually, but I'm planning to return it, and I don't see why it would be a problem. I shop a lot on Amazon and usually have quite a few returns every month without any issues, even from third-party sellers. Now let me see what is happening here. What happened? An English teacher? Someone said, I don't know, whoever posted this. Sherry Cook. Oh, I guess the editor, Gail, right? But I just see she's thanking someone called Sherry Cook. I wonder if I got rid of that. Because I noticed I had a comment, something about that from a Sherry Cook. It's probably one of her friends that was doing, yeah, that makes sense now. That's why. Sherry. Okay, so they're joking about the horrible editing. Because it says edited by Gail Murhalski. That was her editor. I don't know if she works at Dorrance or if Miss Cadle hired her. I have no idea. Apparently, the letters book was professionally edited. Subtle joke. Guess you had to be there. I got it. I Googled Gail and was actually contemplating contacting her to be like, WTF? How can you call this editing? If she's the same Gail I found, she's an English teacher at a Baptist school. Maybe she's actually Cadle's husband's mistress or otherwise arch nemesis, and it's the ultimate revenge. Okay, well that would be lovely if that was an English teacher. Okay, and then just looking at what people are saying. This person said, I keep going back in my mind to the injuries to wee Bella's mouth, blunt force trauma of the frenulum, and gingival mucosa of the maxilla. I take this to mean, and I'm so sickened and sorry and hopefully wrong to say, that the inner upper gum line connecting the mouth to the nasal area was ripped away and apart from the upper holdings to the face. It's been suggested this was due to her fighting for her life. I just cannot believe a wee, traumatized 38-pound 4-year-old could struggle that hard against a full-grown man. It seems to me likely that CW pounced upon her in a fit of rage, thus causing such injuries. It makes me think, see, I think she got it going through the hatch. That's my opinion. It makes me think that Bella awoke, looking, asking, crying for our mom, and interrupted CW's 111-minute phone call with NK, his last phone call before bachelor life was essentially over. Before his last chance to be with his mistress, maybe his last chance at some uninterrupted phone sex. In my opinion, that could have sent him into a rage and made him lose his rag. Bouncing upon Bella in a fit of rage, exasperation, slamming his hand over her mouth, just wanting to shut her up. It could explain those biting into her tongue and the dogs hitting at Bella's bed. I don't remember if these were cadaver or trauma dogs. It could explain why he had to wipe out his entire family. No way he could face Shanann and tell her what he had done or why he'd done it. Shanann had to go too. In his mind, it was her fault. Anyway, no, but he's strangling her so quick, an angry way to punish her. Maybe Cece was really that one that murdered, but he doesn't get into these rages. That's the thing. He's just an evil, evil person. They don't explain and say there's. And then someone said, I don't think so. I think the injuries were due to the second time in the ute. What is a ute? And because she fought back, he pressed down much harder than probably required to subdue a 4-year-old out of anger or panic. He already admitted premeditation in planning it. And someone said, but pressing down harder wouldn't have caused ripping and biting of her tongue, would it? I'd have thought his weight pressing down would have made it even harder for a wee tot to throw or even move her head about in protest, which is why I think he pounced. Someone said it would if she thrashed initially. He probably didn't think she'd put up a fight. Let's see what somebody else says. Anyone know why the post encouraging returning the book was removed? It's not removed. Good question. Maybe it was. Maybe they put it up earlier. And they had a good question. I tried to reply to that post, but it said comments were closed. And then someone said, sorry to hijack your post with my question. I just didn't think it warranted its own post and would probably be deleted too. So I'm glad you were curious as well. And they said probably because a lot of people were saying that it was a shitty and trashy thing to do. I don't agree with those thoughts, but... And then someone said it's literally the respectful thing in terms of the victims to do. The lady lied, and she put out a shite excuse of a book. She's the trashy one, but... And they said, I absolutely agree with this. I'm probably going to end up doing this because I bought the book thinking that there would be decent writing and that there would be new information, but instead it's terribly written, horribly edited, if it even was edited, and full of regurgitated information that has been written about on this subject and on the one for SW, on this subreddit and the one for Shanann. It's like she lurked on Reddit, took people's carefully constructed and logical arguments, copy and pasted, and then changed half the information so the people she stole it from wouldn't notice. It's sick. It's an obvious ploy to get rich quick. Well, I don't think she's getting rich on this. Did you look at Doran's? It was locked. I thought it was against the rules, so I deleted it. I sent a PM to mods with reply yet. So I guess it was up earlier and they took it down and now it's back. Against the rules or not, I'm just letting you know here. I agree with you 100%. If I'm banned, so be it. And let's see then. That's weird. And there's a summary of the, what is this? Jamie thinks that NK had some type of involvement in the murders. Sherilyn asked Jamie to write something for the manuscript. And that she'll put it in the book unedited. Isn't that nice? If somebody... I won't change your words in your original statement that you'd like to put in the book. Of course. This poster said, of course it would be unedited. The whole book was unedited. And then there was a reference to American Horror Story, which Jamie had said was playing out. It was so similar to that situation. And Sherilyn thought American Horror Story was an old movie. Sherilyn asked almost gleefully, wouldn't it be great if we could prove something satanic happened? To which Jamie said, oh my goodness, I feel we finally have something. Then they talk about the vision of the grandparents in the cell. And Sherilyn says that the whole book is almost all Chris's words, which is a lie. And Jamie was very upset that it was a true crime book. It wasn't supposed to be that. It wasn't supposed to be a book about her brother murdering his entire family. And people said, she said this book is unbiased, but the profits all going to CW's appeals seems very biased to me. I hate that this book sold a single copy. Someone said, I don't think anyone should buy the book. Zero profit, zero money. It's quite disgusting that someone wants to capitalize and profits to go to CW's appeals. GTFOH. It's just incorrigible. And somebody said, she isn't giving him money. I doubt she's even giving him a copy of the book. She wouldn't give a copy to anyone in the Watts family, although she made sure a certain YouTube creator got a copy. Before the book was released, I heard, and this person has the interview all wrong, who they say it was with. She said a portion of the sales would go to an undecided charity. I wonder if her undecided charity was actual legal representation. But she actually listed the charities on her Facebook page. It made me laugh when Sherilyn gave the excuse that the book was with an editor, and that's why she couldn't share it with Jamie. Talk about idiotic. Did she not write it on a computer so that she could make a copy and send it to an email? She wanted to control the text completely and rush it out as soon as possible to get paid for her Daily Mail exclusives. And then they go back on every post. If you got it on Amazon, you could return it for item not as described. Someone else on here is going to try that. So glad I got the link. The book has me punching the wall. Such bad grammar and mistakes. I'm a third through and it's driving me crazy. Cadel and Cindy had a falling out. Her fake reviews on Amazon are hilarious. Yeah, we've read them. The names are all very generic, female first and last, and she will end each review with, at least the money won't go to the Watts. She seems to have changed it up a bit now, but it was so obvious. Congrats, Sherilyn, on the long con. And congrats to me for being too broke to purchase the book. Ronnie and Frank Sr. should meet for coffee for some common ground. Unite against the Cadels of the world. See, there's other people that Sherilyn would plan on marrying Chris Watts. As I do think too, there was an attraction there. She was a fangirl, definitely. I bought this book because I did not know. I feel stupid. Won't be buying anything else from this snake. So I doubt she'll be publishing, or self-publishing for that matter, anything else. I cannot even get through the book. So good work sorting out those texts. think, see what else there is here. But let me see if there's anything else. Oh, here we go. This is changing so many things in the equation. Why did we even fall for that false book? I wonder what's wrong in this person's life that they have such a bias against a murder victim. Yes, the book is flawed, but so is your analysis. I've read, what is this? This book. What are they talking about? Oh, hold on a minute. They're not even talking about... Oh, I think they're talking about... I know who they're talking about here. This is the lady that got her YouTube channel removed. Miss something with an M. She has a blog, apparently. Scathing blog. Someone has the proof that NK was involved, and here it is. It says on pages 109 and 137, NK is being interviewed by 2 male detectives. Her father is also present. The detectives are asking why she can't possibly imagine that CW killed the kids, and here's her exact quote. I mean, the only thing I honestly thought when I played the scenario in my head is that maybe they, Belle and Cece, woke up and saw him doing their mom, and he was like, huh, what? Now I've got to do this too? So then repeats her idea of what happened. But so I don't have an explanation. The only thing I can possibly plausibly think is that they saw it. But other than that, I don't know what the F. Okay, where's that the proof, lady? Now CW's recent, more detailed account of what happened is that right after killing SW, Bella walked in and saw SW, then asked Chris, what's wrong with Mommy? He tells Bella Mommy doesn't feel well. He actually says Bella's a smart girl. She knew something was wrong. He then says Cece gets up too, and he's carrying Shanann's body down the stairs, and the girls are standing there and watching him, and then they both start crying. He loses grip of Shanann, and he has to pull her down the stairs and places her body by the garage door. I think there was a mudroom at the door that enters it. I might be wrong, though. Chris said the girls stood there by Shanann, and they were both crying, and he says he then puts Shanann in the truck. He loads the girls up and, of course, heads to Serby. So, NK somehow repeated verbatim what CW wouldn't confess to her for another year. This lady thinks that's proof. Keep in mind that during the interview, no one knew for certain anyone was dead. Wait, yes, they did know. Of course they did. Okay, okay. And someone said, I don't consider it a proof. I followed this case since CW was interviewed on his porch. Like most people, I figured he had killed his wife and his husband. He had killed his wife as the husband is always the first one cops suspect. When I discussed this case with my partner, our first guess was that the kids likely walked in on him or witnessed the brutal event. NK probably thought the same. It's not such an original idea, so that you need to be involved in the murder, planning to try and understand any human reasoning for this horrible event. While she may not have had any part in the murder, she probably did get some honest answers from him over a call on Monday. Therefore, she knew some of the words. All right, I want to see. Somebody said that there were a few reviews. I'm curious to see if these books get returned. So Let me see. Let me go back to the chat for a second because I don't even know if anybody's still here. Chris is a liar, and we're supposed to trust the rest of the family. So I can have my own opinion. There. What is Catherine saying? The whole Watts freak show is getting to be a bit much. Do they really understand that a beautiful family lost their daughter? There would be no bruising. There would be after-death wounds, but they tell they remain after death. What is he? I thought Jamie said they knew about the affair. Well, that's what Cato says in here. She claims that Cindy knew. No, that Cindy didn't know about the affair. Right? That's what Cato says here. She says that Cindy knew when he left he was getting a divorce. She didn't know, but then found out he was being deceptive. But that's not uncommon when somebody's living a double life. It's not Chris's fault. He was living a double life. He had to be deceptive. Milk and a brownie, Lisa? Cannot try. I just want to see if there's anything else interesting in here. And then I want to check to see if there's any new any new reviews. What did somebody, this must be a spoof over here? They say, Dear Christopher, I'm a random woman who lives across the country. I'm kind of a Christian and I sort of belong to a group. Even though I'm on the fringe of this group and you don't know me, do you want to meet me in the prison for a chat about Jesus? Hi, Sherlyn. Thank you for the letter. Your writing style is so terrible that I had to ask an astrophysicist who's doing a case study in the prison to translate your letter. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm a dumb idiot, and you seem like one too, LOL. Hee hee. We can be Christian friends. I'm sure that you are a lovely lady based on your letter. I don't know you at all and feel like people are trying to manipulate me through your letters. But because you said God in your letter, I trust you. Just to let you know, Miss Cadle, God have only one D at the end. Thank you, Christopher. We are now close friends. Even though you murdered your whole family and disposed of their bodies in a despicable way, I think God, I spelled his name right this time, has brought us together. It's fantastic that you want to see before all of your family. It makes me feel so special as a random fan granny hundreds of miles away. I'm really surprised you wanted me to visit instead of your family. Plus, you only get an hour a week. Hi, Sherlyn. I've had letters from so many people. I'm alone in a cell with no woman to satisfy me. I'm getting loads of pictures and love letters sent through. But don't worry, Sherlyn. You mean more to me than my family, and you seem more appealing than my family. 36 hours later in jail. Hi, Chris. Now that we've had 768 hours of meetings, I've managed to put together a complete manuscript of all the letters you've sent me. Don't worry, I wrote God in the book, and people will definitely think better of you, and you'll get parole one day. Wow, really? How much of it about my letters? About 1%. Wow, what about the other 97% left over? Oh, I just copied that from the prison interview that's available to everybody. So, Sherilyn, it's basically just the prison interview written down? Yes, Chris. I've not used much effort. I just copied everything else, but these letters tell the story. Wow. So you're going to publish it? And could it help my case? Yes, sure, Chris. I'm a random person who you don't know, and I just know if you go into more detail about how gruesome the crimes were, then you'll definitely get out someday. Oh, thank you, Sherilyn. I know that writing you 25 letters in 3 weeks would mean I'll be free one day. It's astonishing how I've got all of these letters through prison screening, and they've got to you. It's amazing that in such a short time you've compiled all these letters and made a book. Oh, yes, Christopher, that's the spot. As you consent to write this book, can you help me verify it by consenting to audio? Obviously, you just did the prison interview with the FBI and CBI, and you know what's public. So I'm sure you'll be okay if I spread the good word. Hi, Sherilyn. I'm absolutely fine doing unplanned, uncomfortable interviews with the detectives that put me away. I've got no problem reliving the interrogation that made me uncomfortable. I was totally fine with that. But for you, my dearest friend, the woman I went to before my family, the person trying to get me my parole, no, I don't consent to any audio. Why, Chris? Because this is a dream, Sherilyn. You're fantasizing about me. I sent you 2 letters, and I don't know about the rest. Plus, Miss Dreaming Fan Granny, why couldn't you get an editor or an agent or a good publisher? Snoring away, Z. All because of God? No, not God, because you would not validate or verify the book. You didn't do an audio, and I misled all of the proof, and then I was not on your visitors list. Plus, I didn't record any of our special phone calls. I also didn't ask for those recordings either. Still dreaming. Did the family help you, Sherilyn? Did my family help you, Sherilyn? No, they pulled out right at the last minute, just like you and everyone else. What a coincidence. Now, why don't you do some interviews to sell your book, Miss Cadle? I'm scared they'll expose me. Well, Chris, don't worry, though. The handwriting was similar to yours, and I was also nice to some D-bag wannabe called Scott R. Because I was nice to him, everyone believes me, hee. So you're going to give some to charity? How much and what percentage? Whoa there, Christopher. I'm not giving anything away until I'm making good money from your story. Also, and this is a secret, I put the book up to $25. That's expensive. With your writing style, it's about as good as a one-legged pigeon who's just eaten a firecracker. Psst. If you mention charity, you'll earn more money. What do I get from making up a new story? Nothing, Christopher. That sounds like a good deal. Agreed. Miss Cadle wakes up from her fantasy and realizes it's all a scam. And then someone said, don't forget 2 chapters were the first confession and the charges filed. Waste of space. Thanks, I needed a good laugh. I think Chris and Cadle cooked for this whole thing so she could get rich and so she could oversee Chris's fair share because he can't get rich, in the form of a bunch of money for his next move in court. Maybe she'll give a chunk to his parents to hire a lawyer to ferret out his options. After all, in case you didn't know, he's definitely never going to kill again and should be given another chance to be a good guy in society. Oh, and they both love God too. And the way that was the book review that was. Okay. Oh, so this should be a good one. Do you guys think the book is truthful? I finished reading the book. I don't recommend it. In my opinion, any of us could have written this book. 99% of the narrative follows what we've already heard in the public videos. The other 1% is unverifiable letters. I'm incredulous. The author seems like a reasonable person. I wouldn't say credible, but not a bad person. Even if the author is relatable, it doesn't make her truthful in regards to the book. Firstly, this book is written very poorly and clearly not edited. As I got into this book and read it for a while, I really struggled with the middle chapters. It doesn't read well and really doesn't make sense in some parts. The book could have been absolutely massive. Yeah, not from her. Why hasn't she been able to get a good publisher or even a good book agent? Because the manuscript sucks. That's why. There must be a lack of credibility and lack of confidence in the content, do you think? I can't see any reason why. It's very clear that although the author goes with the Christian perception, she obviously is in it for the money because it's a huge story. Having good people supporting the book would have made her a lot of money. They're not going to support a book where the manuscript sucks. I'm sure there's a reason why that couldn't happen. Yeah, because the manuscript sucks. She's gone with a small hybrid publisher, meaning she's taking a lot of the risk and had to pay them, the publisher, to get to this point. The charity donations, BS. It's likely only to be real once the author has broken even. Remember, the royalties are bad. I've seen this kind of, well, I'll donate a bit to charity, but I can't say why many times. It acts as a positive affirmation for you, or I go to buy the book. It's quite sneaky, really, because we don't know who we are supporting and how much that charity will get. Pumping the book price up to stupidly high prices, it's absolutely deplorable. And how many pseudo-authors use the charity angle to stick more margin on a book? She's clearly rushing the book through, and in reality, there's no need to. But for Miss Cadle, there's every reason to run this story quickly, and that's to make as much money before the controversy begins. In no way can she validate or verify any of the content. That would be a truckload of information there would be a truckload of information she could use to substantiate her claim. She would have had to sign a pre-approved visitor list made by the murderer himself. She would have a copy of this to keep herself. She would have audio recordings from the phone calls if all of this happened. It would be incredibly easy to prove it was some sort of document or audio, but nothing. The Watts family pull out of their involvement in the book, conveniently right at the last minute, and after the author had even told people that they would. In the prison interview, the murderer states that his parents may visit in April or May. He alluded to the time it may take for them to see him. How or why has Fan Granny been visiting him way before his parents? She's practically started a book before CW's mom and dad have seen him. Why would you want some random to visit before parents? Also, prisoners in isolation can get as little as 1 hour visitation a week. How can you possibly find a space to go across the country to meet them? Chris Watts doesn't consent to anything other than writing. Why? If this really was some kind of Christian mission with Miss Cadle and Chris, and it was sincere and compliant, then I doubt he would care what information got into the public domains. Why would he care that it's just written? If he wants to do right, then surely he'd speak. He's done that at every other juncture. Be that on the front porch, in the police station without a lawyer, in the prison cell or last minute, but he won't talk to someone who is an official. Some people say to me, well, you don't have any proof, and that's true. There are only letters. I could write a few letters from Julius Caesar and be nice to Scott R. Does that make me right? Obviously, I can only speculate through circumstance and be entitled to an opinion. She may have had a bit of contact with him, but I'm not sure how much I'm not sure it's as much as I thought. Some people don't like hearing comments like this because they are very interested in the case and really want it to be true. Others sincerely think it's true. No matter what your opinion, it's still relevant. I just don't get it. And someone said it's a pile of scammy poo. LMAO, LOL, scammy poo. I think the book is as truthful as what CW said. She sought out his full confession and got it. She then tied all of his letters, phone conversations, and his interviews of him together to tell a story. If CW never talked to her and she fabricated a bunch of it, don't you think the Watts would be on the news telling everyone who will listen that the lady is making it up? Cindy is not one to stay silent. I'm not sure of my opinion of Cindy. I don't know if she's a good person or not, but I do know that she would absolutely stand up for CW if this woman was making shite up about him. She would be on Good Morning America to yell to anyone who would listen that this book is a fabrication, but she hasn't. They decided not to support the book because it wasn't the story they wanted out there. Talk about selfish motives. People will discredit anything if they don't want to believe it. Everyone needs to face the fact that this narcissist, as mistreated as he may have been, they say they don't like Shanann, decided that his happiness with his girlfriend was more important than the lives of his family. He murdered them because he felt entitled to the life he deserved. Everything in that book makes total sense when you read it, and keep in mind what a narcissist is and how they think. Most people can't wrap their minds about it. I can because I am borderline with narcissistic overlap. I totally get how he saw the world and what his rage was like. And someone else says, hello, I completely agree with you about the murders. Nothing justifies it. However, it is perhaps conceivable that one can identify triggers. Narcissism doesn't have to amount to bad things. It's also a buzzword thrown around and generally to stereotype men who commit crime. It's certainly a real thing, narcissism, but it isn't the root characteristic for all evil. By definition, Shanann was narcissistic. Even when she was talking about others, the emphasis was always on her. When she said something nice about Chris, it was always, he's done so much for me. I've come so far. I've improved as much as a person because of him. Me. This doesn't justify murder, though. Plus, she had friends and was close to the family, so she was obviously likable to some. We mainly see narcissistic traits through her social media presence, which could be projections and not true. Outside of the internet, she was clearly very controlling and a difficult person. That's not true. I don't believe it's true. I think this is one of the... this person is definitely from that group. I question her parenting skills. What else? So just going on and on and on and on about her. But then says, even if he was married to the worst person ever, killing 2 little girls and your wife is vile. I too don't... Okay, and then it goes on to bash her a little more. Sounds like one of the... Okay. And as for my original... I don't mean the case, I mean the book. I think the book is off and relatively shady. It says, well put together, doesn't happen often. Okay, this is another person bashing. Let me see here. Okay, and then another person said, almost everyone on this post agrees that no matter what Shanann did, Chris had no right to kill her and the kids, and that he did it for his own angry and selfish reasons. That's exactly why the vast majority have posted all along, so I'm not sure why you think people can't get it. That doesn't mean this book, which merely reiterates what many, many people have said all along, is decent or provides truthful new info. And then someone said, I always find it odd. She stated he did not want to talk on the phone as it may be recorded. It is recorded. All prisons and jails are recording calls. My big question is, why did it matter? Watts knew she was writing a book. She says so. Why would it matter who heard it? And the world heard it prior to the book's release. I agree. I feel like something is off with this book too. Did you read the discovery? The parts where Shanann wanted them to go to marriage counseling? The book she purchased for herself and had sent a copy to the house for Chris. Detectives discovered his copy inside the trash. Bottom line, bottom line here. There's no treatment or cure for narcissistic personality disorder. I haven't read the book, but everything I've heard about it and the horrible details of the murders make me think even worse of him, if that's possible. He seems to believe that all these things just happened to him rather than recognizing that he was the master of his own destiny. It's convenient to blame circumstances and other people for his bad actions. He could have done what you did, stood up for himself with Shanann and Kay and Cindy, but he took the easy way out. He seriously needs professional help, but if he ever had to acknowledge that it really wasn't anyone else's fault, I doubt he'd be able to handle it. He was a victim of his own personality. That is most probably down to his upbringing. Shanann spoke about the terrible way his family treated him, Cindy Watts in particular. He just naturally gravitated to women who dominated him. I doubt NK would have been any different after the honeymoon stage. It was up to Chris to recognize those weaknesses in himself and get some help with being more assertive in his relationships with women. No one can live your life for you, though I have to say, he seems perfectly happy in prison being told what to do every day. He knew he wasn't going to get parole. Life without parole means just that. I know he's stupid, but Forrest Gump and a tranquilizer would realize that he ain't ever walking free. That author writing this book as some Christian missionary and them about thinking it'll help him get free. This is terrible writing. That sounds as plausible as a Donald Trump Mexico border tweet. Okay. She's regurgitating information badly and adding a few new and often disprovable items so she can claim new information to sell the books. If she could prove anything she claims, she would have had big publishers interested, ones with editors. This is such a high-profile crime, it says. I'm very surprised that no big publishers were interested. And then it says, plus the book is listed as fiction. She is a fiction writer. Not sure if that plays a huge role or not, but why would it be listed as a fictional novel if she was able to prove that it was his words? I completely agree with your observations and feel the same. Pile of poo. I've read it for free, but I didn't want to give my moolah. Ha ha. The first snippets I read online were terribly worded. Well, for a book anyway. That set off fan fiction red flags to me. I'll still probably buy it, but I'm going to wait a month or two. Okay. Now let me just see if there's anything new on Amazon in the way of reviews. Hold on. Okay, let's filter these. All reviews, no. We want to see most recent. Oh, there are new ones, let's see. Mrs. B, 1 star. Not much new information, really nothing new in this. Everything that could have been read in the discovery. And then we have VB10, 1 star. Don't buy this ridiculous, poorly written farce. It makes me furious that this author weaves the demons made me do it throughout the book. The devil is not to blame here for the brutal slaughter of his family. Do I believe evil exists? Of course. But Cato wove the devil made me do it quasi-excuse through the entire book. C.W. wanted a new life, and he murdered his innocent family. Don't waste your money. I'm pissed at myself for being such a fool. Another one from yesterday. Amazon customer, 1 star, horribly written. Typos, misspellings, and jumps around. There is no order to this book at all. It's very difficult to read due to all of that. I would not recommend reading it. Then another one yesterday, April, 2 stars. Did no one proofread? This was a bit of a headache to read. So many grammatical errors, repeated sentences and words, as well as run-on sentences. I'm only on chapter 5, and I kind of want to give up. Okay, another one, Jessica, 5144, 1 star. Very poorly written, difficult to get through, total waste of money. I was very excited about this book because I have been following this case from day one. My excitement wore off after a couple of chapters. While I can appreciate the author's intent, hard work and research put into this book. It's very poorly written. It's full of spelling mistakes, grammatical errors, long run-on sentences, and thoughts that make no sense. It jumps around so much it makes your brain hurt. Typically, I would finish a book like this in one sitting. However, I'm really struggling to get through this. It's almost as if she wrote all of her thoughts down and then just published it. No proofreading, no editing. While there's a tiny bit of new information brought forward, it's mostly filled with everything we already know. It's honestly not even worthy of 1 star. I would give it 0 if I could. As a side note, I thought this book would include copies of all the back and forth letters between the author and Chris Watts. That's not the case here. The title is very misleading. Okay, and this one says from Denise, total ripoff of your valuable time and money. 1 star. What a disappointment and ripoff of my valuable time and money. With the exception of maybe 2 pieces of information that may be new, the author just repeated everything the whole world has already gathered on social media. The book read as though it was written in a mad rush. So many errors make it difficult to read and so unprofessional. Please save your $20. What a ripoff, hands down. Okay, and then Kim Bradford gives it 4 stars. I thought the book was a very good read, very interesting. She did touch on a few things that had not been mentioned before, but if there are some things that Chris Watts will take to his grave, what could possibly be worse than what he's already done? That's what I want to know. I think Sherilyn did a good job writing this book. She's not a big, fancy top author. She's just doing what she obviously has a passion for and managed to tap into the mind of Chris Watts. She was able to do what a lot of networks, news stations, and other authors were not able to. I think that $20 about a case that has captured the world is not too much to ask for. Anne Marie said 5 stars, and her whole review just says enjoyed. That's the title and the whole review, enjoyed. I think that's that for that, but I heard that there was reviews on Goodreads now. Yeah, there are some reviews. Let's see. It's got a total of 3 stars. Has 8 reviews. Okay, so Stephanie hold on. Stephanie Borders rated it 2 stars. Being fanatical about this case, I'm glad I read this book. It's fascinating to see Chris's own words as to why he slaughtered his own family. That said, there are some major issues here. The author can't write for shite. There was apparently no editor. Survey 319 was frequently referred to as Survey 219. Nico was just as consistently spelt. Well, this one has it wrong. She thinks it's supposed to be Niko, and she says it was spelled Nico. Nico is the correct spelling. And the Ruzak's last name was misspelled every time. There's really nothing new. If you're like me, you've read all the discovery in the case, and there's nothing new here except Chris's own words. And yes, he does offer a new confession. However, it doesn't vary too greatly from what he told the FBI agents in February 2019. The author oftentimes just slid huge chunks of the discovery into the book, including text between Shanann and friends, as well as an entire verbatim interview with Chris. Lastly, there are huge chunks of vital information from the discovery that the author chose not to include. I have no idea what the rhyme or reason was behind what she chose to incorporate into the book and what was left out. She mentions that February 2019 FBI interview multiple times, as far as Chris saying how mad he was that the agent showed up without giving him any warning, but that's the extent of it. She doesn't include what he actually said. Okay, then we've got the next person. CO is the name. Rated at 1 star. Poorly researched, poorly written, and poorly edited. Start to finish, this book is a disaster. Coming in at $19 on most sites. For a paperback, it's incredibly overpriced. The author leans heavily on the actual discovery documents as filler for her book and fails to deliver more than a few coherent sentences of her own. She cannot even manage to successfully recall the correct names of victims throughout the book. Simple fact-checking was clearly pushed aside in order for conjecture and personal opinion to be front and center in this true crime debut. Sadly, most readers familiar with the case will walk away from this book recognizing it for what it is, a blatantly obvious money grab. Okay, and then we have KS, 1 star. This is basically everything we already knew. No new info at all, because the author decided to sell the one letter he wrote, which had a few new details to the Daily Mail before the book was released, so it pretty much spoiled it. Anyone not familiar with this case will be totally lost with this book. She jumps all over the place from subject to subject. It's hard to decipher her opinion from what Chris actually said. The grammatical and spelling errors are atrocious. One of the victims' ages is wrong and the names are misspelled. It's just bad. Okay, Brandy Beggs gave it 1 star. The writer of this book did a terrible job. It's all over the place and sounds more like a journal of her ideas mixed with some stuff he told her. I've read a lot of true crime from professional writers. This is nothing at all like those. Thumbs down. Then Ashley came along and gave it 5 stars. Now, she gave it 5 stars, but the first thing out of the gate is error on page 15. The tragedy reaches far into the future. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. Oh, she's just listing, hold on, what is she doing here? Listing errors? Is she going to actually review the book? So why would she, okay, she gives it 5 stars, and her review is just the error, she's listing the grammatical errors, but she gave it 5 stars. Okay, Stacy gave it 1 star. She said just ... I can't. It's garbage. Don't buy it. Amanda Williams gave it 3 stars. In the end, it's not Christopher's letters that made the book worthwhile to read. It's the compassion. I finally feel for Nicole, the mistress. Christopher gives a very vague, self-serving, biblical description of Nicole's character. He hints around that Nicole is a dark woman with dark friends that do dark things, details of which he said he'll take to his grave. He basically likens her to Bethesda, a powerful woman that's capable of seducing kings and bending them to her will. This tale is as old as time, like Beauty and the Beast. Blame the woman. I'm not saying Nicole isn't responsible for her mistake. She is. But way too much credit has been given to her by the public and now by Chris for his own undoing. The letters from Christopher were interesting. I skipped over all his self-righteous biblical content. Yawn. Christopher acts like he just discovered Christianity and God has chosen him to spread the good gospel. If God has reached his heart, it's because he wants him to repent, not preach. But Christopher is way too full of himself to realize this. In the rush to publish this book, there are many factual mistakes. Also, the book could have used a professional editor. Since I was very familiar with the case, the factual mistakes weren't disruptive to my reading, but the editing mistakes were. Just about every page, there was a line or two I had to repeatedly reread to understand what exactly the author was attempting to write or say. I'm not entirely sure if the outline of the book will be cohesive if the reader isn't already familiar with the book. I've seen the confession videos, read the case files, and followed the news, but I worry that anyone unfamiliar with the case won't be able to follow along as easily because the book doesn't start with background. It jumps right into the thick of the case. The book doesn't follow the traditional outline of most true crime books. Okay, and then we have Marley, 1 star. Save your time and save your money. Do not buy this horrible book. Not a book with truth, just more of this monster's lies, untruths, and his ever-changing and very sickening stories. This author did a horrible job at every level. First of all, she did not include a photocopy of CW's letters. She simply rewrote them, so how can we believe she got any of them correct, with so many mistakes made? Such as misspelling victim 4-year-old Bella, she called Belle, and dog Dieter, she misspelled. And also got the place the bodies were placed wrong. It's Survey 319, not 219. There is no bombshell shocking revelation, and her saying "you decide" is her out for not producing as promised. I'm going to be demanding a refund. Oh wow, when did she write this? On the 17th, so she's already ahead. She was probably the one that wrote the post, maybe. Okay, so where was I? I am going to be demanding a refund, and it is the worst book ever and poorly written. Spelling, grammar errors, and tons of pages copied directly from the discovery to which she did not get proper notation and credit. I do believe that is a big no-no. It is called plagiarism. I hope an experienced author, or even a new one, will take the time to research the facts. Then don't allow the murderer to control and bamboozle you with this bullshit. Sherlyn Cadle is a fool. Good luck on your next book, Sex, Romance, and Lies. So Christian of you, Miss Cadle, not. Glad I got this from Walmart. Didn't pay the shipping and handling. Would have made it $27. And just under $18 from Walmart is still overpriced, to say the least. 3/4 of it was copied from the Discovery. One can get from the Weld County. It has the best information. And that is the end of the ones on Goodread. I don't know if Barnes & Noble has any yet. You'd think they would if people bought the book there. Let me see. Any reviews? Oh, it's got. Hold on, that's changed since the last time we checked. They didn't have any last time. Okay, this is, who's this? Anonymous. Anonymous. 2 stars. I wanted to like this book, but I'm so disappointed. I appreciate the information provided and the work that the author put into the book, but it was hard to read from the very beginning. The first typo found on the 2nd page of the introduction, where she misspells Rusak, the least she could do is make sure the spelling of the victim's family's last name is correct. There are so many typos, many repeated sentences, run-on sentences, and sentences that just do not make any sense. With extra or incorrect words used, there are times when two completely different things are written about in the same paragraph, and it just doesn't make sense. I think this one is on Amazon too. I'm not trying to be harsh because I can understand the difficulty of writing a book, but Sherilyn really should have had someone more experienced write the book for her without typos and in a more cohesive way. If nothing else, she should have had someone experienced read through her work and edit it prior to publishing. I felt like I was reading a journal rather than reading an actual book, which was not worth $19. I understand that Sherilyn was trying to say that Chris isn't guilty with this book, but she stated that she never tried to make excuses for him, while also mentioning that he said he just wasn't himself and a darkness came over him. Those two statements are excuses, as he is giving the responsibility that he himself owns to some unforeseen and dark force, as if the responsibility for his actions do not lie solely on him. And then she continues on to talk about exorcisms and demonic possessions. I'm not sure where she was going with that, but this dude was not possessed, nor was he controlled in any way by anything outside of himself. He planned out what he wanted to do, and he went through with it. It's as simple as that. Also, this hold that Chris says Nicole K had over him is BS. He clearly is inexperienced with dating and doesn't understand that a lot of people fall head over heels with someone new in the beginning. Our brain chemicals play a large role in that. But this dude acts as if it's his attraction to her that was supernatural, or she was luring him in against his better judgment, placing the blame on her and instead for his decision to murder his family. He is absolutely delusional. I don't like NK at all, okay? I suspect that she knew more about his intentions of murder than she let on, and quite possibly is the source or part of the source of the oxycodone. But she didn't force him to make the choices he made. He lives in a world where he projects blame onto someone or something, to something else, so he doesn't have to feel guilt and shame. And that just isn't how the real world exists. I also wish that his face wasn't plastered on the front of this book, and I'm sure that is such an ego boost for him. Kudos to Sherilyn for having the courage to speak to him. The truth of what happened is just awful and really difficult to read. Sherilyn, please use an editor next time and don't rush your work before it's ready for publishing. Okay, the next one is from Anonymous. 4 stars. Please don't listen to the 1-star review. The book, yes, repeats things we already know. However, there's information about Nicole Kessinger that no one has ever heard before. There's Chris Watts' final confession. That's not even. He explains why he did not tell the FBI, CBI, and the Frederick officer when they visited him unexpectedly in Wisconsin everything he now confesses. So sad what he did to his family. Poor Bella suffered the most. You'll cry when you see what he actually did. I have had a bad dream since I finished the book. Make a pot of coffee, tea, or a bottle of wine and prepare to finally have closure. Another 1-star. Anonymous. Don't waste your money. It's poorly written. It repeats information and general lack of editing. Anyone who has followed this case closely will know almost everything in this book. Let's see if we have anything else. Nope, that's the end of the reviews there on that. So, whoops. What happened? My dog needs to take you for a quick walk. Hang on a swap meet? I'm trying to catch up with the if there is incorrect grammar, most people can't read the sentence, which is usually a run-on paragraph, but I agree much worse about this caca book. Caca book, yes, right. Remember, Two Stupid Dogs taste like caca. Hall Margaret, how are you? Beanie Boomer? From Book Depository? Sure, Sam. Book Depository US? Okay. If you want to hear them, I'll read them. Okay, letters from Christopher. Here it is. And we have some reviews. Let's see. Oh, but I think it says ratings by Goodreads. It might be the ones we just read. Let me see. Where do I see them? We got the ratings. Where's the reviews? I think it just gives us ratings. I'm not seeing any reviews. And it says they're from Goodreads, and I read Goodreads, so that must be the same. That's what I'm thinking. Because it just gives me the rating, and it says from Goodreads. Let's see. Let's see if there's anywhere else. Book. Amazon. Dorrance is. I don't think Dorrance has any reviews yet, do they? You think people would write reviews there, but they probably take them down when they're bad. No reviews at Dorrance. Goodreads we went through. What is this? Oh, we have something from the author. I'm excited to let everyone know my book will be out on the stands in early October. Letters from Christopher. The book is the detailed story straight from Christopher about the murders of his pregnant wife and 2 little girls last August. I have been visiting him in prison, and he writes me letters with many things he has never told the authorities. Some things are shocking. Please help me spread the news and pick up my book. It will be sold everywhere in bookstores, Kindle, and Amazon. Thank you so much for your support. That was via LinkedIn. Cadel announced that she would soon publish a book about Chris Watts. Barnes & Noble we already went to. Let me see if there's any. Exclusive book. Let's see if there's something here. But it doesn't even show up on that one. Okay. Hey, Angela, okay, I think you're the one that sent me an email about that case where you said, did I know about it? The one in Orlando where the girl was murdered by the superintendent of the building. Do I have the right Angela now? Not you. This is so crazy. Okay. I'll have to go back and get the email. The Angela that wrote me, I'm going to get to your email. In chat. What's in chat? So we use what channel's name? I don't get what you're talking about. What? Oh, Chris H., being that you've never been here before, and being that you're here telling me, I bet you're a troll. So you're totally irrelevant, and I'm just going to get rid of you. Bye-bye. Hey, Doris Cavent. Don't even worry about it, Diana. It's probably from the person who he was reading the Discovery tonight and didn't even know what he was talking about, and didn't even understand why notes and everything that was in the investigation had to be included in the Discovery. So not a real person that understands the law or law enforcement or trials or anything like that. Trying to give out facts and trying just to cover the, not even into true crime at all until they saw that it's popular. Like the people that start a food truck website that aren't interested in all of it just because it's popular. But anyway, it's just irrelevant people trying to be relevant. Don't worry about it. Don't even give it a minute of your thought. Oh, we've got Robert. It wasn't Robert. Robert. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. Absolutely, Stephanie. Bye video. I have an email for you. Which one should I send it to? truecrimechat.org. Something going on. Yeah. Okay, here we go. This is just meaning be aware, because we've got a little man that's upset. And just because I felt like showing the eyes. Don't worry about it, Janelle. Don't even worry about it. They're getting us views. That's all they're doing is getting us views. Don't even worry about it. Because people are going to try to find out who's Mommy Rambling blog. Where is it? And they're going to come. And they're going to see for themselves. Don't worry about it. Please cheer up, little man. That's all they're going to do. Is just get us more views. So go ahead, have fun. Have fun. Seems to be one of their biggest things. Some types of narcs, at least. My mother is the same. Absolutely. Oh, hi, Beanie Boomer. How are you? First time here? It's the bewitching hour. It's the jealous hour. I don't know and how they think they're going to get ahead with this type of behavior. Whatever. It's not your first time because I speak to the chat and I don't ever remember saying your name. So it must be your first time you've been in the chat. Right, Evie. You just get to it because it's sad. It's actually sad when you look at it. You've noticed a few obviously come in here as a few days later their vids basically copy your yes. They do. That's another one. That's another one. I saw that today with one of them. It was the exact same thing. Exactly to a T what I talked about the night before. A case that I had just did something with, and a channel that normally doesn't do it, did it. Just like I see people go into their kitchens that were never in their kitchens ever. Go into their kitchens. It's funny. Flattering. Bob Jones? Bob Jones, I think you're new. How are you doing? We got our eye on you, Bob. You lost connection, Diana? They are not confident in themselves, Evie. That's what the haters are. They're not confident in their own abilities. They're jealous of others that do better than them. And instead of really trying to produce or be better at whatever they're doing, they don't. They think by sabotaging the other person, they'll be able to almost like suck like a parasite. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. We do ignore the haters. That's what's driving them up a tree. Right? You saw that today? That was interesting, huh? Not getting enough attention anywhere. But anyway, so let's see. What else? Yeah, it's easy to spot them because I talk to you guys, so I see names. People wonder how I spot them, but I'm talking to you guys, and I got to know you guys, so I know when someone's new there. And it doesn't mean that someone new is a troll. It doesn't, because we do get new people in. They're not trolls. But there are some names, and then I just, watch, and then... Really, Evie, where's Evie, Bubbles? When you came, I saw your name for the first time, I'm like, just the Bubbles. And I said, I don't know. But you say it's not, it's just, there are new people that come and you see, but you see very soon who's real and who's not. Persistent one. It's telling me, what? I don't know. They will show, right? I know you did. At first I was like, oh no. Evie Bubbles. I wouldn't expect the chat to embrace and trust me on my first day joining a stream. Right. Safira 137, this is your first time with us, right? Charles are, yeah. No, Carol, it did not. What's going? Hey, the spider. Not too much. We've just gone through some stuff, some reviews, some. Hey, Daisy Kent, another new one. The ads must be working. I want to watch you more, but I find the background items in your kitchen quite distracting. Okay, well then maybe it's not the channel for you then. I'm sorry. We're easily distracted here, and I'm sorry, I have a camera set up behind me because I was filming videos earlier, and I didn't feel like cleaning my kitchen before I got on. Because I don't have to clean my kitchen before I come on if I don't want to. You're not the boss of me. Love 49. Hey, another newbie. Lots of newbies coming in. Almost 1,000 here. Thanks for sending the newbies our way. Ray, you're usually creeping around? Okay. They don't even realize they're giving us views and stuff. Or I guess not. I guess not. Well, maybe not on every day, Mandy. Mine could get unbelievable very quickly. Lucillette Nelson. Emily Ginger. I usually lurk. Okay. We're not discussing politics though, Emily. Oh, hi, Believe in Jesus. How are you? I guess you... I love your dog. I'm a real person. I appreciate that no fakery here. Mods can't be blocked by anyone in chat. So what? Who cares? I never saw that video you sent me. But I did watch, oh my gosh, that's what my daughter and I watched. Grey Gardens, the real documentary, watched that. Then she watched the Grey Gardens movie. She had never seen it. And I was like watching from the kitchen, you know, like doing my stuff, but watching every now and then. Then she watched the documentary again after seeing those two things because she saw it before that. She said they didn't even really need to make that because the real documentary was just as crazy as that. So she couldn't believe that the... what happened here? What's going on? Is that a fake Trudy? What's going on? Okay. Remember when trolls didn't believe you had a real... They thought it was fake. Yeah, they still do, some of them. I mean, even though they know, obviously it isn't, they still like to say that. When the chat about it. And we can chat about, I mean, at any time, but I just, it's, her mother died right a year after that. And then she went to where, like 4 different places and then went finally to Florida. And she died in, 7 years ago? Did she ever get married or anything? Did she ever get married or have a relationship? Hey, Delia. Little Edie was the best. It was hysterical. I mean, she's cooking corn in the bed. No, she never did. Never even had a relationship. Chris Humphrey, first time here. Thanks for having my back on your first time here. She did have a relationship, Dar's Cabin. Real women with tea lives don't have perfect kitchens. We cook and craft and work out of them. Mine should look so good. It just finished the canning season. Good for you. At least you did your canning, Carol. I tried canning once before YouTube, and it didn't work out so well. We tried to can a bunch of cucumbers for dill pickles, and it didn't work out well. I don't know what I did wrong, and it was before YouTube. Tills, you're a 59-year-old newbie on YouTube? Welcome. Now watch Armagosa. You will love it. I sent you a miniature orange rose bush for Halloween. Mommy, it's sensational. What's it about? What is that about? Is that about Grey Gardens? she was with a married man for a while when she was young. Right. I saw that. But that's what I mean. What about relationships after she sold Grey Gardens? I would have loved canning Red Raven Spirit. I would if I could do it. I wasn't successful at it. I would love to do it. I would love to do it if I could. But I think that's the kind of thing. Maybe you have to have someone come and teach you. But now maybe with YouTube, I don't know what the deal was, because we sealed everything. We did everything like we were supposed to, and we opened them, and they did not taste like dill pickles. So I don't know what happened. You're eating Halloween candy crap? Oh, yeah. Well, they're for the most expensive rooms to remodel, right? What's the difference? Okay. Hey, Pitbull. Julie, she couldn't have a relationship. Her mother... No. After her mother died and she left, she was not even 60 years old, correct? Wasn't she 56 when the documentary was made? Her mother died the next year. She would be 57, and she lived until 2012, correct? So from the age of 50, what did we say, 57, she never had a relationship? When that was like her main gripe with everything? She died in 2002. She died in 2002? Well, how old was she, Scooter? How many years was she? She moved from like 4 different places. It said she lived in Canada, she lived in, was it California, Florida, and one other place. She went to Florida, but that was the 4th time. She lived in other places, it said. 4 other places. Her brother moved little Edie to Florida. She stayed single but had a life. Where is Wildlife, Emily? Wildlife was here. She was riding her motorcycle and she was hit head-on by a drunk driver. Wait. Who, Jennifer? Who are you talking about? Who is this Jennifer Yiki, and who's she talking about? He thinks she got about $230,000 from the sale of her house to live on. Her daughter. Her daughter? Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry to hear that, Jennifer. Prayers for your daughter. She was 84 and died in 2002. Okay, so that's a long time, 57 to 84. That's what I'm just saying. She could, but you said she never had it. It was one of the things she was most upset about, right? Then you're eating beans or tomatoes for a week. I just had a hot chocolate. It was great. I knew it would make me sleepy. Little Edie didn't have a relationship that I know of after her mom died. And did they not have running water? How did they take showers? And someone said that the new owners, the new owners from what I was looking up said that they kept them private. The owners before that only spent August there. The ones from the New York Post. And so I don't know where anybody read that. She was 84. Okay. And so her mother died much younger. Her mother was in very bad health. Her mother could barely walk at age, what was she, 79? So her mother died at 80. Okay. I thought she was but she was in very poor health. Wow, Janine. Sent me an email. Okay, Prim. You know where who is at now, Beanie. You know where who is at. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jennifer. We'll pray for her. You want to call in, Stephanie? Do you want to call in, Stephanie? We're talking about Grey Gardens, yes. Doing the odd jobs. Edie tried to read The Marble Fawn. Well, I saw him on the documentary. He was still living in New York. You got lost. Okay, let's see what we got in the mailbag. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so let's see. Prim Proper said that she just started a new channel where she reads. I don't know what she's reading, but Serenity. And she just got a new job through the rat race video of mine with American Express to work at home. So if you guys are looking for work at home, you should check out those videos because they are legit work at home jobs that you could, that you can earn money with working from home. So let me see. And then there's I'll just pop her link into here and you can check it out. Okay. I don't know about the real life story we're discussing, but maybe I could learn. Oh, everybody can learn, Stephanie. Did you want to call? If you want to call, send me an email. I'm going to see if there's any other emails in there. Can I say Paula? What kind of animal? Is that a raccoon? Where did you get the raccoons? Paula? Is Paula in the chat? I think it's a raccoon. What is that? A raccoon? With a collar? Paula? Is that your raccoon? Where's Paula? Oh, I knew Emily Ginger was one. I just waiting for her to go off. They try to hide. They try to hide it, and then as soon as she knows I'm off reading something, she comes on with her comment. Bye, Emily Ginger. I guess somebody does. Paula K, right there. Paula, how did you get the raccoon? How did this come into your home? He fell out of my friend's ceiling. As a little baby or a full-grown raccoon? That's Robin's dream. Robin, did you change your last name? You want a raccoon. Like Mommy wants a flying squirrel. Okay, we've got Merlin. Merlin, we're going to be... I can't... Hold on a minute. Hey, Merlin. We've got Merlin here. Okay, hold on a second. Just keep your eye. Doesn't mean anything, just means keep your eyes going. My mom has baby possums and puts a bed in the garage for her. The work at home link to spider. Well, there's 2 videos. Hang on a second. You know, it's really easy. Just like if someone can't post a link and you don't want to look at, you could type in YouTube, Mommy Ramblings Work at Home, and you will get all the videos. So that's all you have to do. Put it in the search bar, Mommy Ramblings Work at Home, right? And you could even do it on YouTube and they pop right up there. So I'm just going to give you this Google link and you're going to see both of them because that saves me a lot of time. There you go. That'll bring you right to the Google page. 2 videos are right on the top. She just takes care of them. But can't raccoons turn wild as they age? No, I think they actually sell them for pets in some states. Okay, so let's see. They're wild possums. My mom had 2 baby skunks. Yeah, they had their stinkers taken out. They sell those for pets too in some states. Some states don't allow everything. Pennsylvania can be weird. New York allows a lot of things, believe it or not. Margie Peterman, what happened in Dallas? What happened in Dallas? Why is Margie saying prayers for everyone in Dallas? What happened? Your dental assistant you worked with had a pet skunk? Oh, they got a tornado? When? What part? In Dallas? Just all over? What? How bad? 3 hours ago? Near SMU? Where Kathy from Texas was in though, right? Earlier? Did she say anything about it? North Dallas? Roofs off? Wow. Near where the rich people live. You're normally asleep, Tori? What, is it just a random night that you're up? Or something's keeping you up? Your son phoned you and interrupted your... My own son's call, and I'm like, I'm live, and like, they don't understand. I'm like, okay, well, listen, can you just go to the car? I can't go to the car. My gosh. You're up doing homework? I secretly hope for train delays. There are train delays. Why would you have train delays? Are you having something going on? Bad weather? You're not having snow already. Nobody known to have been killed or hurt badly yet, but it hit at night. Well, that's good at least. Prayers for all involved. You have family there? No one called me about tornadoes. A Libra man. You had a pet squirrel. Husband found it under a tree. It fit in a tablespoon, raised him to be full grown, and his name was Jake. There were tornado warnings in my area. You're in Oklahoma, but you get them a lot, don't you, in Oklahoma? Not that it's good, but during mommy's, thank goodness I'm the only one with insomnia. Okay, hope everything's okay, Janelle. Kind of, yeah, a little late for them. Who was the old guy toward the end of the birthday party? Oh, those people looked really, didn't they? That woman looked scared to death, right? Would you have even sat down, any of us germaphobes, or eaten something? The one camera guy would not eat anything. I wouldn't eat anything. The car hit a bridge near me. Nothing serious, but no trains currently. Well, oh, really? With all the random, you get used to it. We're AD. I'm used to people just coming in and saying random things in my own life. In 2017, 19 million. Yeah, right? I did see that. It hit near Preston Hollow, near where the Bushes live. Poor Oklahoma, Tornado Alley. Missouri gets them too. Tornado Alley. I decided not to purchase. The case made me very upset. It serves no purpose. Well, there's no purpose to purchase because it's all over. I would not even drink out of one of their cups. No, not even if they gave me a paper cup, would I drink out of it, because we don't know what's been all over the paper cup. And how they're always eating ice cream, right? In those old-fashioned Hershey containers. And there's even a movie based on Tornado Alley called Twister. Oh yeah, Twister, I've seen that. And at Universal, they had the special effects. And having to wake kids up to get to shelter. Oh no. I don't think their bathrooms were working, Lisa. They said they had no running water, so I don't even know how they didn't. I don't know. Yes, Bella. Yes. Grey Gardens. Yes. It's a movie. There's a real documentary about it that was made in 1975, and then there's a spoof documentary about it. So 3 different things, and my daughter watched them all today. Yeah, we have seen it. That's what I'm talking about. We saw that while we were in traffic yesterday, and then we watched it again after my daughter watched the movie and the original documentary. Videos from Dallas are nuts. A hockey player from the Stars home got destroyed. Tyler Sequin. Our town hit twice, as in Kansas. I don't go to buffets. My husband calls Golden Corral the Golden Trough. You came in from a Trolls review? Okay, Jamie. How you doing? These are our eyes, and we'd like to meet you. Came in from a troll. That's convenient, isn't it? Jamie came in from a troll review. Sarah. How convenient. Isn't that convenient? Isn't that convenient? A while ago? Why mention it tonight? I don't get it. You're in here nightly? Where's the troll review? Is that like a channel? Isn't that special? Let it ride. You know what will stuff up that Arias appeal? Her stating at the end that Travis was still alive when she slit his throat. Yeah, I don't think that she's gonna get it. I think it's gonna come back a no-go. Because they really are moving on up now to the big leagues. Deluxe apartment in the sky. You were buffering big time? Trolls are evolving. Markeith Lloyd is going to get fried. Oh, that's coming up on Monday, so okay, let's talk about that. What's coming up tomorrow? Markeith Lloyd will go into the penalty phase. And you don't even remember it was someone's channel and someone. So how is that a troll review, though? Is that someone in the comments as a troll review, Jamie? I didn't know that. I just thought that was someone bashing someone else in the comments. I didn't know it was a troll review. But, okay. The jury must have been... Well, they sent them to an activity. I don't know what they sent them to. Miniature golf? I have no idea. So we'll have to look for that. Then we have, of course, the continuing Severs, Jimmy Rogers trial. Oh, it's a bad choice of words. You're half asleep? Okay, maybe you should slip into bed then. You don't want to fall asleep in a chair or something. That's enough to fill up a weekend. Okay. According to a private detective? Where's that private detective saying this? Privately? The defense for Rogers said they need 2 days, I think. Okay. Markeith Lloyd will have an up-close and personal introduction to Old Sparky. I love her representation. Oh gosh, Kathleen, now you're making me want to get something to eat. Did you watch The Grey Gardens? Yes, I did. I did, Beanie. "333 was missed." Oh no, we do care about that one. So one time that one person said something about one thing I can't remember. You like those big eyes? I know. It was weird. I mean, my daughter thought there didn't need to be the documentary now because it was weird and, you know, enough without, yeah, like, there wasn't really much to make fun of because it was already so weird, right? Okay, thanks for the kudos, Jamie. Thanks for the gumball, Mickey. My husband watched your haul video with me and said you were my twin. The one with the thingy. You know what I mean. The trolls. Great acting and Grey Gardens. I think it was the first time I heard the concept of hoarders. it wasn't so much hoarders as it was filth. I mean, and infestation, right? It wasn't that they had wall-to-wall box, like they had rooms that, at least in the documentary, that were fairly empty, right? The ones they showed, like that pink room, but the walls were filthy, the floors were filthy. They had raccoons coming through the ceiling. They had, yuck all over, cats running all over, going to the bathroom, just all over the house. I don't think it was so much hoarding because they weren't even getting out and shopping, and they definitely didn't. If they had online shopping, they might have. It's just a lot of garbage and filth. It really was filth. Well, no, it was a regular baked potato, Janelle, just shaped like a heart. But I called it a sweet potato because it was sweet, heart, sweetheart. It was a play on words. I can't stand stuff like knickknacks, but I cannot. Oh, I can stand stuff like knickknacks, but I cannot stand filth, right? Where was the documentary showed? I actually found it online. It was like watch documentaries now, and I casted it. That raccoons, no. It was giving up when you have no help. But no, she was also feeding the raccoons a loaf of Wonder Bread and a whole bunch of cat chow. And then didn't Jackie Onassis pay for the house to get up to code and everything, and then they let it go again? Great Gardens is easily found online. Yeah, I think it was Watch Documentaries Now or something. I'm cracking you up on my shock. That's where you watched it? Jackie and her sister Lee paid to clean the house. I need to clean. It makes you think, do we over-sanitize if they could live that way? Yeah, but I think that there's people that came to the house and sat down with the birthday cake. Can you even imagine what the house smelled like? But there wasn't, that's what I'm saying. When you walked into that dining room, even though she had to put like newspapers on the chair, it wasn't like hoarders. Like if you look at hoarders, people are walking over piles that are 6 feet high. There's literally no path in the room. But their house had a lot of open space. It was just a lot of actual filth on the wall. I mean, those pink walls, did you see them? It looked like brown was dripped all over the walls. But it wasn't that you could dance in there. It was just filthy. And there were rats, and oh, there's a rat dead over there. Oh, there's the cat going to the bathroom behind my picture. She had crap. Did you see her mattress? Was that crap all over it from the cats? She was cooking corn in her bed on a hot plate. They weren't developmentally disabled. Oh, Jose, welcome for the first time. The daughter lost all her hair. Yeah. They had no running water. They were cooking and had an icebox in the bedroom. The lady fed all the rats. Eee. They were poor, and Big Edie basically lived in that room. Or she went out on that little balcony, naked. I feel like I understand them. I know it sounds weird. Do you cook corn in your bed too, Scooter? Come on. They had money, and Jackie O was their cousin. But see, there's a difference. See, I don't call that hoarding. There's two kinds of hoarding. I've seen people that hoard neatly, and they're hoarding just stuff like memorabilia, like, you know, like maybe everything DC Comics, but everything is like in boxes. It's there. It's not filth. They don't have rats. They don't have food all over the place. They can use their kitchen and their bathrooms, right? Okay, so then there's another kind of hoarding, like you see on Extreme Hoarders, where it's not only an abundance of stuff, but it's the rats and all the crap in there, and the 20 different animals, and everybody's crapping all over the place, right? Okay. Then with them, it wasn't so much hoarding as it was animals, infestation, not having a proper kitchen. They were less hoarders and more dirty. I wouldn't call them hoarders at all. That's what I never understood. When I first watched that movie, somebody said they were hoarders. It wasn't. The house was empty. The house was very empty. It was filth. Just too much stuff. Very different. I know a lot of people that collect stuff to the point of that. Right? You collect neatly. There's a lot of people that do that. And someone might call them a hoarder, but they're not filthy. Please pray for these kind of people. Okay. So there's 3 different scenarios, right? They left food wrappers, stuff, animal feces. Yes, cats going to the bathroom all over the house. Raccoons falling through the ceiling, going up and throwing bread on the floor of the attic, along with a box of cat chow for raccoons. That wasn't, I don't know, understand why that was ever called hoarding. That's what I don't get. It was so empty. She was freaking dancing. She had space. The hoarders don't, the extreme hoarders, the ones, did you see? They can't, they have like this. Did you ever see this, the ones where they're hoarding and they have this much space to walk? It's like 4 feet up, and they've got to bend their head down, or they can't walk down the stairs. They've got like this much, and the lady fell and broke her hip because her husband was hoarding everything and had piles of everything. Grew up with maids, and they were very delusional. Hoarders wouldn't have room to boogie. But then there are clean hoarders. Do you know what I mean? You've never gone to someone's house and you've seen like they're into DC Comics or they're into certain things, and they have everything in boxes. They're neat hoarders, right? But they have entire rooms that are just wall to floor to ceiling, wall to wall, everything that they have. And their stuff is worth money. Their stuff is in crap. A lot of the people on hoarders have absolute crap of no value in their house. A lot of them hoard empty food containers, moldy food. That I don't understand. That's disgusting. empty, dirty toilet paper or dirty diapers. That's disgusting. After 100 times you understand them? But they're not hoarders. But Scootery, can you imagine the smell when you go in there? I told you about that girlfriend of mine that had one cat. Now, believe me, I know people with more than one, and the cat and their house doesn't smell. I had a cat. My house never smelled like cat. Never, ever, ever. She had one cat. She was an extremely clean person. I don't know if it was something from before she bought the house, because whenever you walked in the house, all you smelled is the cat. And it got so strong. I don't know if you've ever been in a house like this. I could not eat or drink anything in that house. It's all I smelled from the minute I walked in to the minute I walked out. And my other girlfriend had a cat, because at the time I didn't have a cat. And I said to her, Jackie, how come I smell nothing in your house? I go to this other house and I smell it so bad and I can't take it. And I can't even sit down. She wants to offer me something and I can still remember the smell just thinking about it. That's how bad it was. And I still don't know to this day whether her cat was peeing or crapping on the carpet downstairs. It was worse than ammonia, Janelle. It was worse than ammonia. And it just permeated everything in me and everything she was doing. And she was clean. She was a clean person. That's why I couldn't understand how she couldn't smell it when she came home, how her husband couldn't smell it, how the kids couldn't smell it. It stunk so bad. She'd have Boy Scout meetings there. It stunk so bad. And I just don't understand how she couldn't smell it. She was a great person. She was a good friend. I love her. It's just, I couldn't eat anything there. But I could never tell her. She couldn't use the bathroom, right, Sam? Yeah. Her place smells so bad, I can't go to her house anymore because of it. But see, it isn't because she was a slob. She cleaned all the time. Yeah, Danielle, wow. It's like that with cigarette smoke. Ugh, yeah. The cat smell apparently lasted for years in the Great Garden's house. My boyfriend has 2 cats. It smells really bad and I'm allergic to. Does he not smell it? You say it wasn't the pee. It was horrible. It was horrendous. I know the awful smell. My friend didn't understand why her house smelled if she'd been gone a couple of days. Some people get used to it. I don't know how. I don't know how you would ever get used to that. He doesn't unless it's a lot, but he's just used to it. No, they were not smokers. Neither one. Anti-icky poo? What? Anti-icky poo works great. But in Sophia's final days, she did wee on the carpet, but I cleaned it up. She has a spray that gets rid of odors. What is it called? It was different than ammonia. It wasn't ammonia. It was something so much worse. If you boil vinegar on your stove, it will get rid of all odors. I don't think it would have gotten rid of this. Not if they're permeated like in the carpet or the flooring or something. Thick frost today, bright sky and thick frost. Winter's coming. Oh, don't tell me, Diane. I don't want to hear it, please. Their toilet, always up to the top, and the bathroom filled with dirty clothes to the ceiling, really. Who? These Great Gardens people? Ooh, where did you see that? But it won't take it away if you don't get rid of the source. They scrape the carpets off the filthy floors. What are we talking about? Cat pee is a huge issue. Yeah, right? Because it's horrid. Know your neighbors when you were a kid. Eee. I put my litter box in a small kiddie pool so no litter or anything gets on the carpet. The filthy hoarders, yeah. First, where are you? I heard pee smells like cat pee. Pee smells like cat pee? Now cats also spray. That smells horrid. Someone said to use an enzyme. Pulped it to soak the washer. We always have multiple cat boxes. I hear you need one more litter box than the number of cats you have. Okay, speaking of cats, they lie, Ohio, first time. Especially tomcats. You really need to see the movie. I did see the movie. I saw all three. I saw the movie before. I saw the movie again. I saw the documentary, and we saw the mockumentary twice already. You have one litter box for 4 cats, and it never smells. Happy story, please. How did you get that huge piece of quartz in your home? Oh, you are very onto it. From your old island. How did you get that huge piece of quartz to your home from your old island? No. You mean to my driveway. They carried it out when they demoed my kitchen. And Jimmy told them, put it over there on the side of the driveway on a pallet. Which is bizarre that he would say that. Don't even ask why. Okay? But I just tonight bought a, what do they call it? Not a hand truck. Something that's almost like those big carts at the Home Depot. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's called a truck dolly or something, a truck something. It might be a truck dolly. I bought that. And that's it. That's the end. They're going to lift it up onto that and wheel that sucker into the garage. It'll be here, I think it's going to be here in 2 days. You never know when you tune in. It rained again today, and I am just fed up. I want to get things done outside. Oh, of course, Janelle. Yeah, of course I'm saving it. Yes. That's a lot of bucks there. Yeah, of course. I wanted to put it downstairs on my craft table, but Jimmy says we can't get it downstairs. So he says that we'll use it because he has ideas for an outdoor, he says, Jimmy and his ideas, okay. An outdoor kitchen or something like that with like I don't know what he's talking about, but yeah. I really want it for a craft table, and I'm sure there's a way to get it down to the basement. It's going to rain here in Ohio. So no, we already had it, Carol. We're giving it to you this time. It better not be raining here tomorrow. It better not be raining here the next day. I've had it. What happened? We were discussing a documentary I've never seen right before. I've never seen right before I went to this subject. No more sheds ever again. We had a beautiful, perfect day. No more sheds. There's one shed he got moved. He got one shed moved. He got to move the other one. He can't move the other one until he moves the quartz because it has to go where the quartz is. I did cat rescue. But anyway, I was thinking, I've been like really freaking like looking for another Westie. I know I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. I can't live without a Westie. I'm sorry. That was my first Westie. I can't. I've been looking. I haven't found anything yet because I'm really choosy. I'm like freaky choosy now because I'm so freaking scared. Yeah, and I want to get another Westie, but I want to make sure that there's no. I mean, I've been looking like healthcare, a year. Well, I want to hear like every dog you've bred and what their ages were, how long they lived, and what they had, and if they had any of that anemia or any of those things. And I just can't find it yet. That you know what I mean? Like where I'm going to get that. The rescues, Jessica, they're almost impossible, and because we have other dogs and kids and stuff, I'd like to get a puppy that I can raise with us and not have issues because with all the stuff we have in the house, dogs, kids. My mom's dog wanted to go out. Right, yeah, I know that, but even the ones that I've seen on recommended from the AKC and all of that stuff. She has 2 Westies. Oh, really? How old are they? I mean, she doesn't have issues with them? Because it's easy. I mean, you can find a puppy like immediately, and I know that you'd always fall, it's going to be fine. But then if it just sets you up for heartbreak, Not that I would never change anything with Zoe. Because she was such a great dog, but I just would like, Westies usually live a lot longer than that. Except the ones that... Best way is to send a blood out of potential puppy for DNA testing. Yeah, but a lot of breeders won't let you do that. Vero, who are you talking about, Vero, who's never been here before? Vero? Hi, Vero, who are you talking about? Talk to the eyes, Vero. Tell us who you're talking about. Tell who's scary that we can't trust anymore. I thought she was a good person. What are you talking about, Vero? Who are you talking about? Your Wisty lived 12 or 11. Labradoodle. Well, the Labradoodles, if you think about it, the Labradoodles are now that did you hear that whole what the creator of the Labradoodle said? So much fun, but so much work. Liver shunts and other problems. Yeah, I know. Your Dalmatian lived 15. Piper's 8. Penny's 2. The baby chews everything, including chocolate. Oh my goodness. They're from the same breeder. Hey, hi, 61. It's Wendy. How? Why isn't Vero answering us? And why is he saying how, Lisa? I don't see anything Lisa said that you would say how about. All right, but Vero, you came in here saying, I can't believe it, Mommy. I thought she was a good person. Who are you talking about? Because you're going to get booted out of here if you don't tell us. Same breeder. I do not think same bloodline. Because that's what trolls do, Hennessy. He said it was the worst mistake of his life, the biggest regret of his life. I'm talking about the author. Okay. So, Sherilyn. Okay. That makes more sense because it didn't make sense. It just coming in. Okay. All right. We'll let it slide for now. It's going to rain all day on Tuesday. Please, please. Don't say things like that. Your bearded collie was 17. He was a rescue. My sister loves her Labradoodle. I understand that. I have friends that have Labradoodles and Golden Doodles, but go read. It's in the New York Times. Go read it. We're on high alert. They may be further back, right? Brindle Boxer passed 1 year and 4 months. Yeah, I mean, I lost an American Bulldog at a little over a year, so it's yeah. Not good. I adopted my puppy from a breeder with OCD. Safe to say, she exceeded my standards. I bought my Chihuahuas from a breeder, a woman who she raised some fancy cats at the time. I don't remember which ones. But she was amazing, and my Chihuahuas lived so long. I know they're long-lived dogs, but I mean long. Without health issues at all. Yeah, I guess they're behind in the chat. You're stuck in the Dallas airport? Oh, did you, Michaela? Oh my goodness, really? The 14. I have a little Morkie, and she is my little buddy. Yeah, teacup. Mine lived around that. Oh no. I'm sorry to hear that, Froggy. Hope she's okay. Him. Hope he's okay. 2 Labradoodles both have issues. Shih Tzu, and he is 12. Well, that's another. See, I just don't want to get a double-coated undercoat. The Westie has like very easy to get, just like the Yorkie too. Doesn't have that undercoat that gets matted up and stuff. Morkie is a Yorkie mixed with, what is it, Maltese? Does it get the undercoat? Are you taking away one of the best traits of the Yorkie, is that there's no undercoat? Oh, wildlife. That was my mother's favorite dog, and I don't think I could do that without a Westie. I have considered getting both a Scottie and a Westie. But there's something about the Scottie that I just couldn't have a Scottie. My mother, like I said, they were her favorite dog. Every time I see one, it reminds me of my mother, even though she never had one. But they just look a little, I don't want to say mean, not mean, but because they have that kind of schnauzer, long snout thingy, I think they're cute, but I would never want to not have a Westie with them. I would love to have both a Westie and a Scottie. I think that would be really cute. But who has very long hair? Who has very long hair? The terriers have long hair, but they don't have an undercoat. It's a totally different story than a Maltese or a Lhasa Apso. Totally different. Yeah, but they don't have that undercoat. They have wiry hair, and it doesn't mat the way the silky Maltese hair does, or the Lhasas. I have both. I had a Lhasa, and I've had 2 Maltese, and I have a Maltese now. So their hair is much harder to take care of. I had a Yorkie Terrier. They do not have the undercoat. She could go anywhere, and you could still brush her hair right out. No, I definitely want a Westie. Definitely. I love their temperament. I love their curiosity. I just love it. You guess posting here makes no sense, Dalia? What do you mean? Are you the real Dalia? Do you have a French Bulldog? No. My sister has a Dandy Denmark. Carolyn, you will like one of my week gifts in the Happy Mail. I think I got some Happy Mail, and I didn't open it yet, Diana. Would yours say you're from Great Britain? It's something from Great Britain. I think it says Great Britain. I didn't open it yet. I have to open it because I want to do a video. It came on Saturday, but I was gone all Saturday. Then I have your Happy Mail. I'll be opening it tomorrow. Oh, good. It's here then. I said, Jimmy brought it in. He said, it looks like Happy Mail. I said, where is it from? And he's like, I said, because I thought you were in Scotland. And I said, he said, it says Great Britain. So I said, I bet you it's Diana. It doesn't sound like anything is broken. I'll open it tomorrow and make a movie. Make a video. Make a movie. What happened to Dalia? Your dog is dying? I'm sorry, Dalia. I know, believe me, I know how that is. What kind of dog is it? It doesn't change anything. I know, I just went through it. It's terrible. It's terrible, right? Scotland is in Great Britain. Okay. Well, I thought it would say Scotland somewhere on the package. I don't know. I just lost my dot. Sorry to hear that, Danielle. A beagle? No, I used to have beagles too. Yeah. What's wrong, Dalia? He's blind? Yeah, prayers, Delia. I had a beagle like that, and we even had surgery on his leg for a tendon. And then coming home from New York to New Jersey when I was a kid, something happened. His disc must have slipped, and he became paralyzed in his back legs, and we had to put him down. Her, and she was only, she's 8. Yeah, I know the Karen Terrier, but yeah, disc surgery. Ours had some type of surgery as well, and always had like an issue with the leg. But then, oh, really, Red? Sorry to hear that. Well, no, no, we know that, Delia. Scotties and kilts, so good you get it now. P.S. It's not a kilt. Jimmy, no, yeah. He's got the right legs, yeah. Oh, I know what you meant. Died in your arms, yeah. My Westie died in my arms too. Always mistaken for a Westie. You haven't gotten much sleep. I know. Don't worry. You don't have to apologize to Leah. We know. I mean, a lot of us have gone through it. It's not good. It's not nice. It's horrible, heartbreaking. Toto is a yeah. I know. Okay. Oh, sorry, Alicia. Oh, thanks, Red Raven. Yeah, I go through them a little at a time because it's still hard, you know. Thank you. Oh, does he? Sandy? Oh, sorry to hear that, Linda. Oh, sorry to hear that, Alicia. That's sad. Prayers. What kind of dog, Alicia? Yeah, I know. A lot, all of you did. You were wonderful with support with Zoe. Yeah, it was very, very sad. I still can't believe it some days because she's a tough, tough little dog. Unsold books, Catherine. Kathy, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know we had a friend that had one. It's just that, I might, could I consider it? Yeah, maybe I could. I guess I'd have to see, right? I can meet my new babies because she helped me. Oh, yeah, that's nice, Leisha. Thanks, Evie. Yeah, you go through that, Froggy Toad, a lot of times. Like Jimmy was like, "Oh my gosh, this is like the worst part," and this is horrible because we had to put our cat down, who was, he was. I call her she. Don't even. He was with us a long time. Then we had to put him down right before Thanksgiving last year, and then so it's like a lot. They have the same body type, yeah. They are your fur green babies, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know. Delia, right? Yesterday. I'm sorry to hear that. Prayers for your dad. Yeah, you can get like that, Mandy, right? Like, I can't go through this again. I can't do this again. Yeah, it's sad, Froggy. It certainly is. Yep, Delia. I mean, it does. You have to be really strong because within 2 months, I lost a rabbit, Budgie, Sylvie, my cat. Yeah, it's sad. Right, Carol? Yeah. I hear you. Your sister has Cassie, the third from the litter, with Bo and Lex. She's 17 years, 4 months. My parents had Suki for 18 years. Yeah, Jessica. Huh? For most, it helps. Some can't do it for a while, but usually do it eventually. Yeah, at first my daughter was like, no, no, no. And then this weekend she's like, so are we getting another Westie? Because I can't. Yeah, it's like. Right, yeah. So, your husband told you no more? It just might be because it's raw right now, Delia. Give him time. Yeah, Froggy, it does. It's supposed to lower your blood pressure. Oh, that's nice, Jessica. Well, right now, I mean, I'm just gonna, I'd probably settle for the, you know, I have my hands, I don't mean settle, I probably have my hands full, you know, training a new puppy. Oh, you're welcome, Delia. I know how it is. I've just been through it. It's tough. Same as petting a cat. You feel so peaceful petting Mystic. Okay, well, 4:25. We better calls it a night, I think. You have a miniature Australian. She's 2. Your daughter got her, then moved out, so now she's yours. She's a shy pup. Yeah, my sister just got her son's dog. But, okay, guys, thank you for our moderators coming in. Gail's coming. And thank you, guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Oh, okay, good night. Hi, thanks for the time check. It's, oh, you guys are 2 hours behind now? How did that happen? Oh, you're always 2 hours behind. What am I thinking? I don't know what I'm thinking. All right. Everyone take care. Have a good night. Be safe driving home. Prayers for all of you that need them. Good night.